exactly.
Did they practice? Nah, it doesn't matter.
Hopefully they don't cover. Yeah.
Well, welcome everybody to the Astec Safety Challenge
It's tough
here at the
to have to
Lloydminster
throw
Golf
it
and
in.
Curling Center. Evan Dagenhart, joined by Kyle Mulligan. We will be commentating on sheet
this was
4,
better than-
Team Sluchinski,
Like
Team
yesterday,
Wiebe.
breaking
And Kyle, you're hearing the teams right now. We're practicing. We're getting underway for draw starting at 9 a.m. But just the buzz right now in the building, the buzz from the teams, things that we've been hearing from people so far is ice looks great venue, cold, really cold outside. But the vibes are really good here right now as we start off the Astec Safety Challenge, inaugural one too, which is very, very special for us.
Well, you know what? If we would have thought about last week when the weather was really nice, would that really feel like a curling tournament or bonspiel? I don't think so.
You're right.
You got to be minus 35 for it to wake up and feel good and walk into the curling rink, right?
I'm with you. It just wouldn't feel the same. So it perfect weather for a curling activity, whatever. Challenge, bonspiel, but the guys that are saying downstairs, it feels like a slam. You got 9 of the top 10 men's teams in the world in Lloydminster right now. That's got to feel good for a first-time event, and the players are excited because they know they're going to get high-caliber competition throughout this thing.
Well, when you have a $100,000 purse, right, that talks, that gets teams involved. When you've got a Grand Slam starting next week in Red Deer, for a lot of these teams that are coming in internationally, it's an opportunity to come, get back, get climatized to Canada. And to get prepared. We just heard some of the teams talking about how the ice is running like an arena ice, not like a typical curling club. So that's a huge testament to John Wall and Brian McClaskey and the ice making team. This is going to be an outstanding event with world-class players in a world-class facility in Lloydminster. And it's super exciting to be here, and the crowd is starting to show up. There's not many empty seats for a 9 o'clock draw on a Thursday. How often do you hear that?
And for people, too, there's smiles. People are excited. As I was walking up the stairwell behind here to get up into the broadcast booth, people are excited to come and watch these high-caliber athletes, too. And we were at the VIP social last night with the teams, and I think what's special, too, a lot of people don't realize, I mean, you get high-octane athletes from a number of different NBA, NHL, NFL. In no other sport would you have the teams mixing and mingling with the people who are coming to watch the game. I think there's something special about curling in that regard.
You know what? At the end of the day, the culture of curling is social, right? When you're on the ice, you're competing and you want to win, right? You want to beat anybody you're playing against. That's the competitive nature that these guys have. But at the end of the day, these guys travel together. They play a lot of curling together. But the off time away from the ice is what makes the game special and unique and different. And it was interesting to see all the teams across the country, especially at 4:30 last night when they had the junior development camp, and you've got Team Parent, Team Goskins, Team Botcher, and then Team Retornes showed up last night. The number 1 team in the world is out with the youth in Lloydminster last night out on the ice, and it was the smiles and the cheers and the laughs. It was an outstanding night to kick off the event, but now it gets real.
Now it's time, right? Everybody's here. Everybody's representing what the sport means. But you're right about that, Kyle. Now it's on, and there's money to be made, and
This is their draw right now.
the lineup stopped. Obviously, we couldn't do it without a number of different sponsors and a number of different people locally. Astec Safety, number 1, coming in and saying, we want to make this happen, and we're going to do it. And that's why you have the Astec Safety Challenge. But obviously, Wild Rose Pumped and Compression coming in as a presenting sponsor. There's a number of local businesses. And Kyle, you've been in this community. I mean, obviously, you're not here now, but you grew up and you were around here for a long time. I live here now. I'm raising my family here now. What does it mean for our area to showcase what it is that we do? And that in the Midwest, when we want something done, we get up there and we get it done, and people step up, and a number of businesses have come out and helped us with this thing.
You know what? Lloydminster's always stepped up for big events, and it doesn't matter what it is. You look back to 2014 when they had Hockey Day in Canada and the corporate sponsorship and the world stage that we were on. You've had the Royal Bank Cup here in Lloydminster not that long ago. You've had World Championships. You've had the Pinty's Grand Slams. The city always steps up, and it's a world-class city with world-class facilities. And at the end of the day, it doesn't happen without great sponsors. And, Wild Rose Pump and Compression, they were a longtime sponsor of Team Cooey, and Kevin Martin back in the day. So they've had a huge connection to the curling world. And you know what? All of our sponsors, without them, this event wouldn't be possible. So a huge thank you to all of them, and there'll be lots of mentions throughout the day.
100%. I mean, we're 10 after 9 here, and we're just getting ready. The teams have finished practicing reading the ice, figuring out what it's going to look like, and we've got some handshakes going now, some pump up talks, and you're going to hear, as you hear right now us talking, you're going to hear the thirds and the skips from both teams walking through the strategy of the game, what I think is pretty special too. So when you think about curling right now, a lot of the times you get the stream, you don't get any audio. Here we are right now talking to you about the game, and you're going to get an in-depth look, ice level, from these teams talking about what they see in real time. Something special about that too, Kyle.
Yeah, it's a unique world to be able to hear what the best players in the world are talking about, and you can see it on screen, you can see what they're looking at, but to actually hear it and hear the mindset of what they're doing, that's pretty interesting and pretty cool to see.
Yeah, so we're going to do our best to stay out of those guys' way as they go, but obviously here, going to see what we see, and the biggest thing is enjoy the curling. I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to have Kyle here with me as well. There's a number of people behind the scenes making this thing happen. So if you see a volunteer, thank them if you're in the area. And if you're watching from home, know that it takes a lot of people power to make something like this happen, and it's special right now. And we are rolling.
We are rolling. The first rock is down. Team Sluchinski is with the Redstones today. Team Wiebe is throwing the yellow.
14 still, probably.
You're going to hear them say times. And for people who are maybe just getting into curling, Kyle, what does that mean when somebody's expressing the time that they've measured the rock on? How would you explain
min line?
Yeah, what they're talking about obviously is weight.
You're okay, line. You're okay, line.
And where they want rocks, obviously slower the time, the less weight that's been thrown. Higher time. Well, we're taking rocks out. So,
good.
In the start of the game, they are playing by the 5 rock rule, right? So everyone will notice that rocks will be in play, and that's the new mantra of the game.
Not much until right when we left. It was really, really brisk and nice and no snow up until about last week, and then
through Christmas and New Year's.
It's not Canadian curling event without talking about a little bit of weather too, right there.
Yeah,
everybody's talking about their travel in. Some guys were just getting off the plane last night. Some people were talking about
it's gonna be cold
being on the tarmac in Winnipeg last night.
It's really cold here, and then it's all
driving from Edmonton, and you don't realize these guys are getting themselves to these events too. It means a lot. They're traveling. They're putting the effort in, and for them to come here. Everybody who's watching on the stream right now, it means a lot to these teams too, and that's special about curling. That's special about the sport, and for them to travel.
You know what?
Deal.
It's these guys play tight schedules. They're in an event pretty much every weekend. And that's the part of being a professional. And you know what? Weather does play a factor into their travel plans. And there were some, Team Sluchinski got in late last night into Lloydminster.
Yeah.
Team Shumei was having some issues getting out of Winnipeg, right? So there's been lots of things, but hey, everyone's here, and the action's starting, and it's exciting.
Hey, line's good, running, top 12, running, like to go away, top 12, top 8 is good. Ties rock, right here, ties rock.
Don't want to.
Right here.
It's coming down to
Yep, right to it. Yep.
Slight bounce.
Good shot. Nice.
What always amazes me, Kyle, is if you've played the game or if you watch the game, so much communication goes into from when that rock gets delivered to when it finds its final resting place on the other side of the rink. And it's a skill to be able to talk to your teammates in a way that you can vocalize what it's doing, because obviously the skip's picking up the cue from the front end. They got to have an understanding of what this thing looks like. And without that information, it's a guessing game. And these athletes have figured out a way to take the guess out of it through the most part. I mean, the best teams in the world, they can come into any rink and they've got it pretty figured right away.
Well, absolutely, right? The conditions typically are pretty much the same and standard with a guy like John Wall, the ice maker, going from event to event.
Yeah.
But, at the end of the day, curling is a game of communication and trust. Right, as soon as the rock comes out of whoever's throwing's hands, you're putting it in the hands of the sweepers and the trust of the skip calling the line, and it's a game of trust and knowing your teammates, knowing their tendencies.
Yeah, I mean, you throw enough rocks with a guy, you're going to figure out his tendencies. That's
ideally if you just maybe move it a rock,
a little bump,
if you can get to nose and move it a rock, it's pretty good.
Ideally, just try to get on the inside at all.
All right, we're starting to get some action inside the house there. We've got Sean Flatt, the second for Team Wiebe.
It's a line shot. 15-ish, you think? Okay. Yep. Top 8.
Mine's nice.
Yours.
Playing a quiet weight, maybe a little bit of separation they're trying to get with this shot.
Adam.
What's the idea
Adam,
of
hurt.
outcome here, Kyle?
You know, at the end of the day, what he's trying to do is get a little bit of separation and get the proper angle so he can line it up later for Ryan and Ty to come down and make some things happen. But we're starting to get a bit of a mess on the top half of this house.
I think that's good. Nice. Boy touches, but touches the top. Yeah, I like that.
Kerr Drummond, the second here for Team Sluchinski, getting ready to throw his second rock. Looks like the team's just going to come down, set on top, try and see if they can continue to control the top of the house.
So at one point here, somebody could miss, or there could be a small margin of error. At that point, then it becomes a game to open it up. And at this point now, we're just trying to stack to make it as easy as possible for these rocks to be moved potentially, or a good freeze here could eliminate. At what point then are they going to start to change strategy?
Well, at the end of the day, it's all about angles, and it's all about setting yourself up for the shots at the end to make two every end. Right, the last thing you want to do is take a single away. The goal is to always find a way to make two, or more if possible.
Right.
And at the end of the day, if you've got the hammer, you want to make sure that you're getting capitalized throughout the course of the game, and getting off to a good start is super important.
Hard to say yet. We're good.
Looks like we're going to get some separation now. Sean Flatt from Team Wiebe. Definitely coming with some heat here.
EDPL.
Yep. Whoa.
Ideally, just looking for a peel here, Kyle. Get rid of some of the garbage up front.
Yeah, you got to open it up. You got to create a pathway for the rest of your team to come down and create some action. So they got to get some control, especially with the hammer. And Sluchinski, they want to continue to log things up here a little bit.
Keep the pressure on, obviously, right? They're protecting shot rock. There's angles there, but as far as they're concerned, it's jamming things up.
Yeah.
Force a mistake.
Great toss.
So Jeremy Hardy getting ready to throw his first rock here for Team Sluchinski here in the first 10 at the Astec Safety Challenge. Good shot there. Double takeout, leaves his own shot rock, sitting first and second.
It looked messy coming in, but obviously you can see how quickly one rock can change the game.
You're throwing
Absolutely.
intern was
Absolutely.
normal.
Okay.
Hit 2/3, 3/4.
Okay.
Third for Team Wiebe, Ty Delio getting ready to throw his first rock. And he's a lefty, a rare lefty throwing out of on Team Wiebe, which is awesome.
I can't relate. I throw right for everything. So when I watch
Lead, whoa.
special.
Curl. Might line him up.
All right.
Shot.
Didn't get the double takeout like they were hoping for. But at the end of the day, left themselves some options. Team Sluchinski, again, it looks like they're going to go for the double here. Everything's lined up. Should see a very controlled weight fired here by the third Jeremy Hardy.
I don't think I was crazy positive there either.
Just like that. Simple shot, simple play.
Firm.
Lying two.
So you're Wiebe with the hammer now. Thoughts is moving towards a blank at this point, or where you're at?
No, you know what? I think what you're going to see, obviously, it's a game of trying to make somebody miss. So it looks as though they're going to peel out the first one. If they can get the double out of this, fantastic, and try and hold their rock.
Yeah.
Whoa. Curl, 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 curl.
If they don't.
Curl. That is so straight. Okay.
Just like you called it, Kyle. Obviously, you picked one off. One red remains.
Picked one. Still, for Sluchinski, that's a great break for them. Opportunity to separate the house a little bit, create some separation, and see if they can ensure they don't line everything up for another double takeout.
I didn't hate that throw.
Look at
so
okay.
straight.
Fell back. Yeah.
That just fell the whole way. I thought you were
that.
I thought you were kind of on nose. Just kind of you just fell.
Yeah. I don't know if it's that spot or just the whole ice that we see.
You never like.
I like that better.
Tough.
Yeah.
Right now, you're hearing Skip and Third deliberating. And I love that. We're right down on ice level. We're getting some insight from the players. World-class event, Astec Safety Challenge. Welcome all viewers who are watching on the stream. The Lloydminster Curling Club there. Appreciate you taking the time on Thursday.
Because the way it falls there, I can.
And lots of people out in the fans here too,
wait.
Kyle. In the stands, and the setup is just ideal for people who want to watch a good game of curling and take in a world-class event.
Here we go. Aaron Sluchinski with his first, trying to make a draw. Wants to keep this above the tee line. Wants to keep good separation between both rocks here.
Try to get it in.
Guys are on it here hard, trying to drag it into the rings.
Got it.
Just good
And a
hack.
touch light.
Try to roll like to here, probably.
Definitely not the
Yeah.
shot they were looking for there.
His peel.
Yeah, it opens things up now. Obviously, it
thinking hack
gives
with, like
Team Wiebe
that.
an
Yeah.
Probably
out.
too much, eh?
Yeah.
Even there, yeah.
But at the end of the day, what you're going to get here, again, we were looking for the mistake, and we've had the first mistake. Ryan Wiebe's got an opportunity now to hit and roll in behind cover, and also give him a chance to set himself up for the two that we talked about, right? Earlier, we thought maybe they'd go for the blank. Now there's your miss. Here's your opportunity.
But
Now he's got to capitalize.
enough
But
to
really,
run okay.
when you're watching the game, breaking it down,
Yeah.
these guys are 2 or 3
Yeah,
shots
Mike.
ahead, thinking about angles, thinking about things in their head, wondering, okay, if that miss does happen,
Yep.
I'm gonna set myself up for this. And I mean, you look at the shot that we just watched, a guard, right? But complexity in this game is something that comes from all different sizes, all different weights, all different shots, and it shows you the margin of error for these teams.
It's
Yep.
the margin for error is
Yep.
so slim.
Hard.
Here we go. Guys are getting on this one.
Straight. Yep. Straight. Yeah. Roll it away.
Looks like it's going to hold its line. Are we going to get the roll? No roll.
Nose hit.
So easy takeaway here for Aaron Sluchinski. Again, he's going to try and roll in behind his own and force Team Wiebe to take one here with a draw.
Kind of worked out.
Yeah. Yeah. Throw.
He's dead buried. I think we're just drawing. Take edge 8 and
Yeah. It's the 4.
Sluchinski's last shot and one. The Astec Safety Challenge for draw one here, kicked off at 9 a.m.
Guys are wanting this to curl. Need to get that roll. Slight roll under cover.
intern.
Looks about quarter of the rock is there.
Enough though for Wiebe to come down and obviously he's shooting for the blank here, Kyle, now and take that hammer into the next end.
We'll definitely see. He can definitely see enough of the rock that if they sweep enough, they should be able to hold the line. He should be able to get the angle and blank this and continue the control. But again, it's early. These guys just got here. It's their first rocks in the event. Anything's possible.
Right,
here.
but he doesn't want to leave a rock in the rings on this one, right? Like that.
Absolutely not.
For him, he's blank all day.
Yeah, absolutely. Wants to get out of the end. Teams are just getting comfortable. But again, hey, big shot, right? Big shot to get some confidence, get things going, and instill some confidence in the rest of the team here. Ryan Wiebe
Clean.
for the takeout and N1.
Yep. Clean.
Yep. Yep. Clean. Got it.
Good clean shot, good clean control, communication all the way. We got a blank.
16 shots down,
Like,
nothing solved.
We move on to the next one.
Right? We move on.
very tough.
Great
While
pair.
we get ready for the setup
pair.
here, Obviously,
Great
got
there.
to roll
Great.
through some big thanks,
Your best
Musgrave
circle
Agencies,
one time.
VIP
It's a really good
sponsor,
idea.
MNP.
Yeah,
If you're
keep
going to be
going.
at
Hey,
the
Brittany,
event,
too.
you can see on the other side of the players, we've got bleachers on the one side and then a VIP lounge on
let's
the
go.
other. MNP is dialed this up really well, and
Hot
there's a
starts
ton of
on
options
Friday
for
night at
people to
Brandon,
enjoy.
man.
Lots of space.
What could
It's
beat that though?
just a great setup for
Yeah.
watching curling. Canadian Angus, Boundary Ford, Fountain Tire couldn't do it without all of these major corporate sponsors and local sponsors that live and breathe and work in Lloydminster too. I mean, this is a national thing, but when you boil it down to Kyle, it's just a bunch of people coming together for the love of the game.
100%, and for the love of the community.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, you know, these events don't happen without great sponsors, with great volunteers. And then obviously you need the fans to show up to create the atmosphere that these players go, you know what, this is a place we want to come every year. We're going to mark this on our calendar every year because, wow, what an event. And, you know when you come to Lloydminster, not only are you going to get a great event, but you're going to get great atmosphere and an opportunity to enjoy the Midwest hospitality.
Regardless of temperature. I mean,
Regardless of temperature. Yeah.
we're going to be warm and fuzzy regardless.
Yeah, exactly.
Line's perfect.
All right, second end. Dylan Webster lead for Team Sluchinski. Getting a guard out there.
If you're wondering about these teams too, you're not familiar, you're just tuning in. Team Sluchinski hails out of Alberta, the Airdrie Curling Club. They're world number 16, Canadian number 6, and coming off the heels of a 2023 Hub International Alberta Curling Series Major and Curling Stadium Alberta Tour kickoff. So if the name doesn't sound familiar to you and you're fresh to the game, all of these teams world class.
Really running, yeah. Might be Ty's
Between
Rock
1 and
now.
2.
Ty's Rock, it's got a curl.
Lead for Team Wiebe, Adam Flatt with his first
Put
rock.
it off the line. Yeah.
Guys are carrying this one over the line.
Hard. Keep it going. Okay, shot.
And Team Wiebe, again, another Canadian team out of Manitoba, playing out of Winnipeg. World number 32 and Canadian number 16 in the rankings. So far this year, they qualified for the 2023 Grand Slam Hearing Life Tour Challenge, the Tier 2 division. Finished in third place for the 2023 at the DCAL Super Spiel, the U25 Next Gen Classic, and Mothers Club Fall Curling Classic. They also qualified for the 2023 Points Bet Invitational. Quite a resume for these guys as they make their way up here. But again, even these teams can't do it without their sponsors.
Right.
And the sponsors for Team Wiebe, Bear and Bear, SAS Integration Security Solutions, Winmar Freight Group, M&M Food Market, Ashma and Larson's Memorials. Thank you for the support of Team Wiebe and having them here in Lloydminster for the Astec Safety Challenge. Second rock here for Adam Flatt from Team Wiebe.
Okay, line's
Top
nice,
8.
guys.
Top
Sean's
12.
rock for now. Running a bit.
Again, such a chess match with the leads.
Okay.
Can yet.
Right? Getting everything set up properly,
Ty's rock now. Ty's rock.
making sure angles are
Ty's
right,
rock.
and trying to control the front of the house. Most important part.
Curling. Curl. Easy. You're over curling. Oh, nice shot.
Great shot there. Tuck under coverage. Minimize scoring potential.
It is showing. It is showing a little bit on the outside, but again, with not a lot of rocks being thrown on the outside of the rink yet, they don't know. Is it going to run straight? Is it going to curl? How's it going to hold? So it'll be interesting to see how Team Sluchinski, handles that one that is buried for Team Wiebe as they try and get their two here in the second end.
Really, too, the chess match is who's going to figure out the ice more quickly, Kyle, right? Like, obviously, everybody's coming in with the same even keel playing field, but if a guy picks up something, it could be an advantage over the other team instantly. So.
Yeah, and neither one of these two teams yesterday practiced. So again, this is, you're starting to see an opportunity where, again, like you just said, who can figure it out the quickest?
Yeah.
And again, as you at home, you can hear the times that these guys are talking about, and they're trying to get their draw weights sorted out and trying to figure out how much ice they need to get this game really rocking as we move on.
Another controlled shot there.
Good hack.
Sean Flatt here from Team Wiebe,
Should run on center, Sean, and then it's gonna curl. But
getting ready to throw his first draw.
Gradual, I think. Yeah.
Looks as though they're going to throw a controlled weight and try and get a little bit of roll under cover underneath those two red rocks.
Hack.
Heavy hack. Yep.
Whoa. Curl.
These guys need this to curl. They need it to move.
Curl. Hard curl.
There it goes.
Keep it going, Ty. Keep it going. This one.
Now will they get the roll?
Okay.
Too much.
It's a little wide. Good weight. Like, not bad.
Got her a little thin, but hey. Takes out the red.
You hear there too in the stream. You've got Wiebe saying, "Hey, a little wide, good curl." So you're getting insight too from these players in real time as they talk about the shot.
You said
Obviously,
you're gonna throw
we're gonna pick it apart too, but
yeah, just
something
run
special about having these players world class. The understanding of the game at this level with the caliber of these teams, it's something special too. And I got to give a shout out to Andrew and everybody behind the scenes set for just making it happen for us, because we're just the mouthpiece. There's a lot of stuff happening behind you in the broadcast.
Yeah, and, Andrew and his team, and then obviously you've got Maz Entertainment here that are helping out. And funny story, Cody Mazerel. There's a kid that I've known since he was, I don't know, 14.
This, like, ideally we
coached him in Bantam AAA hockey, and he had the fastest legs in the world.
Really good.
Fastest legs in the world. But he does a great job. Does a great job with doing so many different entertainment things here in Lloydminster, and it's nice to see it come full circle where I get to spend a little bit of time with him.
Yeah, I didn't even realize he jumped in here, but if you're from these parts, Cody, and obviously to have the audio level and the broadcast level that we have here today, it's special, and that's what I wanted to recognize. Andrew coming down and his crew, and Maz Entertainment obviously jumping in on this one with his crew. Special to hear the players, special to see the stream.
Easy control. Whoa! Curl.
Guys, need this one to curl a little bit so they can get
curl. Keep it going. Oh.
Not bad.
Hi, Ryan.
Ryan with a lot of sweeping here, trying to push this one out.
Okay.
But yellow does sit shot rock here.
Not terrible.
So Wiebe sitting one.
Running a little straighter than.
But now Sluchinski's got an opportunity to really cause some havoc here and have three sitting in the house.
Yeah,
well, good separation too. Nothing really lined up at all.
Yeah, right. You're not going to make it run at all three of these in one go. So
you max set both.
See what he can do with the opportunity that was just given to him.
On this ice, like you saw, your peel going that way, it fell the whole way. The hits just aren't moving that much. No, I know, but we just have to adjust, Sean. We'll just adjust. Just adjust a little bit.
And the mistake.
So you got Wiebe obviously offering something up here.
Yep.
And then Sluchinski comes back and says, I'm gonna put a dagger on this one and chips the front guard. Not ideal on both sides.
The one thing with the kick, Sluchinski actually does cover his rock on the other side of the house, which is great. But now Wiebe's got an opportunity to come in and freeze to that rock and sit second rock, creating some opportunity here.
How quickly things can change with one curling rock, obviously. Wiebe now looking to get in a great position back to potentially get their 2 points or more here.
Line's good.
Ty Delio with his first shot here in the second end. Trying to get this to curl. The little bit of tap. Need this to move. Calling it to whoa.
No.
He's going to go wide on this one, Kyle.
Already pretty deep.
Little deep.
Okay, good shot.
Wanted to keep that above the tee line, obviously, which is super important. Now you're creating some backing here for Team Sluchinski.
Potential for a hit and roll and freeze on.
I think that's the exact call you're going to see. You're going to see the hit and roll for them to clear out the yellows. And my assumption is they're probably going to try and freeze to that second one on the side here.
I mean, you got backing, so walk through the last shot there. He was hoping to get right on the corner of that red rock on the top, obviously 12 foot there.
Yep.
Didn't happen, went wide. Gives Sluchinski a chance to do some damage again. So a couple of mistakes back and forth, trading back and forth here, and that's how quickly the game can change.
Yeah, trying to get some comfort, right? So Jeremy Hardy here with his second shot here in the second end. Coming down with a good control takeout weight. Guys are on it quick. Trying to keep this online.
And there it goes.
Wow.
Well, that was obviously not what Sluchinski wanted, and it looked like it was just wide from the get-go, Kyle.
Yeah, right off the get-go, the guys were on it trying to get it to move.
Either here or right there.
It goes to show what sweeping can do.
Right.
Right? You can move these rocks, you can run them straighter, you can make them curve.
It's a tough shot, but like
It's a true art form what the leads and the seconds can do, moving a rock all over the ice.
Let's
Back
and listen to Wiebe.
even back 4.
All right, Team Wiebe here, with an opportunity to sit third shot, second shot, first shot. Big shot here for Ty Delio.
Okay. One's gonna run a bit. Look up. Line's good.
Looks a touch heavy.
Still running. Adams Rock. Right here. Back 4.
Ryan calling for back 4, wants to get it in there.
Yep.
Great shot. Great shot.
Again, we go back to the communication. These guys talking up front saying, hey, this is where we think. This is the time.
Yeah.
Wiebe coming in and saying, hey, I needed to be here now to set up some angles potentially. Great shot from Team Wiebe. Puts a little pressure on Sluchinski here now.
It'll be interesting to see what Team Sluchinski decides to do. Do they want a clean house or now where they can really really put some pressure on Team Wiebe? If Aaron Sluchinski comes down and sits right on top of that rock on the button, causes a lot of pain, but looks like they're going to go for the double here.
Is that Kyle, the potential to minimize damage? Less rocks in the house obviously means less points on the board.
Well, again, it depends how comfortable you are with rocks and how comfortable you are with your draw weights here. And clearly at the moment, it looks like Aaron's not 100% with his draw weight, so he's going to clear some house here and have an opportunity to force Ryan Wiebe here with a couple shots left. Coming down with a heavy weight. It's the hit, the roll.
It's a great shot.
And it's just shot rock.
Yeah, I'm almost seeing the intern. With
Great shot from Aaron there on his first.
Good board.
Good board.
Got the roll to roll.
Like good board. Yeah.
Wiebe's calling for controlled board weight.
Control board, but the most important part about this shot is to make sure he doesn't set up an easy double.
Right.
He needs this rock to roll back to the center line. And he needs it to where it makes that double that much harder.
For the roll,
Aaron
just a couple rocks that way.
Really big shot here for Ryan Wiebe. So he tries to get 2 here in the second.
This would be the first pressure shot for him. I mean, everything is pressure shot, but a blank end in the first. Now he's coming with his first rock in the second.
Look at this Scott Manners guy. He was broadcasting the other game. He's got his stopwatch out. You know, I think that guy played at some point. Scott Manners, Daryl Hanley are here doing the live stream just on the other side of us, and it's an honor for me to be able to sit with a guy like Scott who went all the way to the Briar, represents Saskatchewan and Saskatoon, and I had the pleasure of working at the facility when he did it, and it was an unbelievable run. And Ryan Dice, who's going to be playing in the event later today, with Carl DeConnick Smith, and I know Carl was the 5th with Scott's team back then. And again, if you look at the banners, I think you see a lot of Carl DeConnick, Ryan Dice, Scott Manners, Tyson Armstrong, Ryan Armstrong, all local guys that have done lots of great curling that are going to get to play on a world stage here later today.
It's special too. I mean, we saw Wiebe here just rolled out, so a bit of a miss there. But quickly, Kyle, the local curling representation here, I think that's special too. For guys to come in and feel what it feels like to play against world caliber teams, best in the world.
Absolutely.
You don't get experience like that, and to do it in your own backyard. And then quickly, too, to talk about Scott and Daryl in the broadcast booth beside us. I'm just trying to keep my mouth shut and listen to these guys because I'm picking up stuff as we go.
Yeah, we're here to learn here in the first draw. But you know what? By 4:30 this afternoon, we're going to be really good. I swear we are going to be really good.
I love your confidence in us.
But Team Sluchinski here, Aaron, with his last rock. Looking to set. Perfect. Sitting 2.
Great shot.
Now, Ryan's got to make a decision. Is he going to come down and peel and sit, or is he going to try and make the draw to make sure that he sits? Again, the problem is if he comes and hits the top of this rock, he's not going to sit shot rock.
No,
right? The other one in the 8-foot's going to be shot rock.
Better weight.
So, again, very important sharp. Going to be a very quiet weight Be interesting to see if he wants to go with the hit and roll or if he wants to go for the draw here.
Let's listen in to see what Wiebe and Ty are talking about.
Touch more weight.
A bit more weight, he said, than the first one.
Wants trying to get it run a little bit straighter, right? The last one got away from him a little bit, right? Trying to make this run a little bit straighter. Obviously feels more comfortable with the hit. Doesn't have a lot of faith yet in the draw weight, but again, hasn't had an opportunity to throw a draw. So again, you got to go back with what you feel comfortable with. Ryan Wiebe, last shot here in the second end. As he tries to sit for one.
Over to the sweeper.
Whoa!
Front end.
Clean! Whoa!
Clean.
They need this to move.
Curl!
Girl.
Clean!
Straight.
There it goes.
Straight.
And they're signaling that that's the one they needed.
There
No
we go.
measurement needed on that one, Kyle. And Team Wiebe first on the board in the second end with a point. Obviously, Sluchinski's team is feeling good about that end, though.
You know what? They got exactly what they wanted, right? You get the blank in the first by Wiebe, and then you force them to take one here in the second. And again, it's a chess match. And you know, a couple great shots, couple missed shots by both teams in the end. But at the end of the day, you know, mistakes create opportunities, and the opportunities are there. And first points are on the board for Team Wiebe. As we look over to sheet 3 right now, we've got Team Shume up on Team Goggins from the Netherlands, up 1-0, and as they're getting into their last rocks here on sheet 3. Again, Team Shume up 1-0 through the first end. Team Goggins with the hammer here.
And as we go through the Astec Safety Challenge, there will be streams on sheet 4, sheet 5. But full updates, obviously, on Facebook. You can follow Astec Safety Challenge, on Instagram, Astec Safety Challenge. Updates as we go here in real time. But of course, if you'd like to watch the game and listen in, sheets 4, sheets 5 are our main draw stream sheets for the challenge this week.
I have to go deep 2 with this line. 16-5.
16-5, they're calling for the guard weight there. Something to note as we get going throughout the game. 16-5, you know, a couple feet just outside the house. That's that's their guard weight right now, and we'll see throughout the course of the game here, as now we're getting our second time back down this way. Are things going to run a little bit quicker as things get going?
I mean, they've thrown a couple rocks now. They've fielded out. They're getting a little bit more comfortable. Now you're going to start to see some confidence, I would say, in players across the board on both teams.
One, and how you continue to adjust, right? And for the skip, it's so important to continue to monitor. And I can't imagine being a skip. What a bunch of pressure as you're trying to control these games. And you know, I'm more like a guy like Ben Hebert. I think I'm much better as a sweeper.
So
right?
You and I just became best friends because when I played growing up, lead, that was my position. You let me throw some dirty guards up there, and then give me a broom, and I'll hoof it for you. Right?
Exactly. Let me get to just let me get out of the way. Let me, you know.
Yeah. I'm with you on the pressure. That's for sure.
You know, which is, you know, I just got an update here, and you know, on the live stream right now,
Yeah.
776 people are listening to you and I yammer on.
Well, I apologize in advance.
Can you believe that?
That's amazing.
But from people watching all over the North America and in the world, thank you very much for tuning in here at the Astec Safety Challenge here in Lloydminster, Alberta, Saskatchewan, Canada's only border city. Write that down. You want to remember that. There might be a trivia question later on.
Let's talk about the trophy real quick too. Last night, the teams got to see the hardware that they're playing for. This thing, Kyle, is unbelievable.
Yeah, local artist Michelle Lake came up with the idea and the thought behind it. And again, it represents everything that Lloydminster is all about, right? The dual provinces, Alberta, Saskatchewan, the border markers, and at the end of the day, you know, we all like to win a big trophy. So I can tell you that thing is heavy. And you know, last night I had the opportunity to carry it out to the table, and I could have used a crane. That thing is got some weight to it, but it's a beautiful design. Michelle Lake, local artist, and last night we had the Artist Challenge.
Yep.
Right? 4 local artists were here yesterday and creating some pieces that are one of a kind. And once again, for anybody that's tuning in online, you can log in into that online auction, see the pictures that were drawn last night, put a bid, and maybe you'll be lucky enough to own one of those once in a lifetime pieces.
Yeah, for all the artists that came in last night and helped with the VIP kickoff social, which was a great event, and the teams were represented well. Thank you. Thank you for showcasing Lloydminster and what we're about. It's special for us to show the world what it means to live in this area and feel pride in what we do. So
it goes to show with the sport of curling how far it touches. It's not just a sports event, right?
Yeah.
It's a culture event. It's a city event, and it was the junior event last night, and it was cool to see everything come together. And there'll be more of that. And for anybody that's listening here in Lloydminster, you're planning to travel to Lloydminster, but you didn't get tickets, right? You didn't get tickets to the event. Well, tomorrow and Saturday over at the Lloydminster exhibition, there's going to be a family-friendly area where some of these guys are going to pop in that are playing this week. They're going to pop in, say hello. They've got some different games set up over there. They've got the streaming going. They've got some food and drinks, and there might be the odd beverage over there as a family-friendly patch over there.
Sure.
But I'm pretty sure that you might be able to find yourself a cocktail or a beer and still be able to enjoy the event. And I know there's some special guests that are going to be coming in throughout the week and stopping in over at the Lloyd X Friday and Saturday for the event.
I love that. Again, it just shows you how deep curling is and how much these guys care about the future of the game. It's special too to watch all the junior curlers. I mean, last night we were here and Team Botcher.
Higher on this.
You had Botcher, Kennedy, Hebert, these guys up in the glass, and these junior curlers are making shots and they're banging on the glass like they're fans of the game, because that's what we all are, just fans of the game.
100% we are, right? Second shot here for Sean Flatt, Team Wiebe. I guess we got to announce a little bit of what's going on.
Sure.
In the game. We love to talk about what else is going on.
Sure.
But Sean Flatt here with his second shot. Looks like he's going to bring in a nice draw. Let's see what they start calling for weight and times here. 13.5, 14 is kind of the optimum.
Where were we before? 16, a little over 16 coming into this end. Was that what they were saying there, Kyle?
A little deeper. Okay, might have to go right here. Yep.
Wild how they adjust as rock's coming in, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that wild how you can hear Ryan talking about here? No, we're going to go here. We're going to adjust. We're going to move it.
Yeah.
All within a split second, making these decisions to try and make these rocks line up properly.
People don't understand too. The front end. I got a lot of respect. You and I just we talked about it. We both were front end guys, but it's so critical for the front end to communicate to their skip what they're seeing and allow the skip then to make that mid shot play and adjustment.
Here Drummond here with his second shot for Team Sluchinski.
You know what, Sean? In the hat, ask for
what's he looking for here, Kyle?
Looks like he's looking for a little bit of a tap on this and to roll in behind coverage and sit with the backing behind him. But the rock's just not curling.
Gonna hit on the outside.
Hit on the outside. You could tell he was definitely trying to hit on the inside.
Yeah.
But again, separates the house a little bit. Sluchinski's sitting with shot rock.
Wiebe says, I'll take that. I'm going to take a shot at the button here.
Yeah, we're going to roll this baby out of here. We're not going to leave them with anything in the house right now. And again, Team Wiebe trying to force Sluchinski to their single here in the third end. First shot from Ty Delio. Here as we get into the third shots in the third end.
If you're wondering, too, who you're hearing, we've got Ty Delio and Wiebe mic'd up, the third and the skip. Team Wiebe. So that's the voices you're hearing as you watch the stream right now.
So didn't get the curl, hit a little bit thin, right? Rolls back around. It is undercover under the red, but you can definitely see probably a third of the rock from the hack.
Ideally with that one, Kyle, was he hoping for less roll? He was kind of hoping to be above the tee line, maybe.
Absolutely.
Just above 4 foot there. Is that
absolutely? If anything, in the bottom 4 foot, did get a little bit more roll than I think they were anticipating or wanted. But again, still under a little bit cover and still, it gives them an opportunity. Jeremy Hardy here with his first shot for Team Sluchinski. See if he can find his takeout weight here in the third end.
Not a lot of traffic on this side of the ice to start, especially See how these teams pick that up.
Guys are on it quick.
Curl, 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 curl.
Nice touch.
Caught a little bit heavy though. He wanted to get both of those out of there. But again,
Right.
still sitting shot rock.
Just top 4, Ryan. Okay. Yeah.
Ryan Wiebe calling for a top 4 draw.
Ty Delio with his second shot. Third end.
You know, again, important part here for Team Wiebe. They want to try and control the top of the 4-foot, make it difficult for Aaron Sluchinski with his last rocks to get to the button. So now they're trying to set it up where they can have some control and hope for a mistake.
Well, control and separation is what you called last end, right? Let's make it as hard as possible for you to eliminate multiple stones with one rock.
Now. Go to curl.
Ryan calling the guy I was on. Ty trying to call him off.
Curl, yeah.
Need this to curl.
Back.
Look at great sweeping here. Look how far they're dragging this rock. Wow, what a shot. Top 4, great weight, great sweep.
Great sweep. Great sweep.
I don't know if we could have done it any better.
I'm not going to say I could.
Maybe, right? You never know.
You got way more confidence in our
I
ability.
I brought my curling stuff. I thought I was going to get an invite.
Yeah.
You know, maybe somebody would go down, maybe get in a game, but
Wow.
But you know, I didn't get that call. Still waiting. Maybe that text will come in here. I should go hand out my phone number to some of these guys to get a groin pull or something. Maybe
You got to get the number in their phone
Yeah.
first.
I got a hunch they're probably going to call Scott before me. But Jeremy Hardy here with his second. Nice tap. Little overroll though.
Shooter sticks around.
Shooter sticks around, but again, Team Wiebe sitting first and second shot right now.
Don't have hammer.
Yeah.
Feeling
Definitely
good.
don't. Now the important part, this rock has to sit top 4. Absolutely has to sit. Ryan Wiebe here with his first shot in the third end.
He opted on his final shot in the second end for the takeout.
Seems that way,
So now obviously he's looking at the draw.
You know what, actually, this is top 12.
Yeah, and really this will be his first real draw of the game.
Right.
3 ends in.
Right.
First real draw of the game. We just heard Ryan talk about how he wants this to be top 12 weight. Now again,
You say like
he's throwing top 12 weight. Doesn't mean that the sweepers aren't going to drag this.
Sure.
And again, you're going to hear Ryan and Ty as they adjust as this comes out of Ryan's hand. You know, you've got the Flat brothers here that obviously have a lot of trust from their skip. So we'll see where this ends up. But again, an opportunity for them to sit 3 and put a little bit of pressure on Aaron Sluchinski.
Okay, top 4.
We'll leave it to the Flat brothers as they carry this in for Ty Delio.
On it quick, line's good. Now it's all about weight. And it caught something.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Rock caught something and stopped it dead. And that happens. Game of curling.
That is the game of curling.
A tough break though. As now it sets up an opportunity for Aaron Sluchinski to come in here in behind cover. Again, for him, he wants to make sure he's right on the center line and above the button here.
Talk about the psychology of the game. So you're gonna be thinking about that shot. You're the front end guys. You're thinking about it. You're a Wiebe. You're thinking about it. And the best of the best learn to walk away. Put that behind you. It's already done. What can you do about it? Let's move on. I got another rock here. We'll see what Sluchinski puts together.
Exactly, right? Now you gotta adjust your game plan, and unfortunately things happen in the game. So Aaron Sluchinski with his first rock here in the third end, trying to set himself up for a deuce.
He's taking the same path that Wiebe did. Obviously, managed to.
Needs this one to turn. Little heavy.
Straight. Shot rock, Kyle, but
Going right here.
need this one to tuck in a little bit further, I think. Hey,
That was definitely not the ideal shot for Aaron.
That's it.
But
It's too good.
but again, after you watch a guy have a break that happened with Ryan, you know,
I don't want to play
you're taking the exact same path,
Right.
right? And again, maybe just a little bit of again, still trying to figure out the ice.
Yeah.
Right.
And like you said too, when we first started the broadcast, some of these teams were rolling in this morning. Some of these teams didn't get the practice, so it's a feeling out process. But you got to give credit to the ice crew here, obviously, because all the comments we were hearing as the practice rocks were being thrown, this feels like a slam. This feels like the ice you'd expect at a slam.
Yeah.
And it's good.
All
It's
of the
just good.
players last night were talking about how great the ice is, and obviously, the comfort they have with a guy like John Wall coming in, but again, Brian McClaskey's been the ice maker here for over 20 years, and a guy that is extremely detailed, does a great job here with the local club. And,
Yep.
And again, an eight sheet rink is something that you don't have a lot in Western Canada.
No.
And we have that facility here in Lloydminster, and it's a great opportunity for us to showcase that. But again, Brian and John have done a great job, and Graydon, the assistant ice maker here, have put a lot of work in to get the ice ready to go. I know over the Christmas break there was a lot of work done. So Brian here with his last rock needs this to sit right on top of that rock, just at the bottom of the 4 foot.
Flat Brothers working now. Communication coming in here.
They need to drag it. They really, really need to drag
Look at the
this.
sweep, Kyle. Look at the sweep. Great shot.
Great shot. Lots of backing. And it's undercover.
It's obviously now for Sluchinski, he's looking at it going, my scoring options have decreased exponentially. What are you thinking now if you're Slu? Looking at this.
Well, he really has some different options to look at. Looks like they're going to look at this red and see if they can fire it in.
Angle raise potentially here is there.
The angle raise is there, and then it's an opportunity to sit for 2.
Like you're playing it with like control.
But again, not an easy shot.
No.
That angle raise and to miss his red so he can continue to sit for 2 is obviously super important. Now, he's going to go for this. He's going to go for the angle raise, sit for 2. And if he gets some good movement, possibility to jingle up those other 2 at the bottom of the 8 foot and maybe push them around. But again, high risk, high reward.
High risk shot, and that shows you how critical that final rock from Ryan Wiebe was to force this move for Sluchinski when it looked like he kind of had control of the end here.
Absolutely. Here we go. Final rock. Aaron Sluchinski. Last rock in the third end. Needs the angle raise. Control weight. The guys are on it hard.
And just stayed straight.
And that is not ideal.
So we've got a steal in the second, a steal in the third.
No, a second.
Sorry.
They actually got
Sorry.
that. Yeah, they got pushed for the single in the second, but again, a steal in the third for Team Wiebe
Get that point back.
as we move on to the fourth. And again, it goes to show that even the best in the world miss. So
Yeah.
I guess the next time we're out playing, it's okay.
When I'm out on Thursday nights here at the curling center, I sometimes pretend like I'm world class. But that's just in my head. That's just in my head, Kyle.
You know what? Dare to dream, though, right?
It's all you have
Right.
sometimes.
Yeah, dare to dream. Here we go with the start of the fourth. And again, the leads are always the forgotten guys. So Adam Flatt, lead for Team Wiebe. He's going to get us started off. And again, these guys are in from Winnipeg, Manitoba, and I'm sure it's just as cold in Winnipeg as it is in Lloydminster today.
It's cold
So,
everywhere in Western Canada.
For anybody that's out there on the stream that's listening from Winnipeg, we thank you for tuning in, and hopefully you're enjoying the action that we're seeing and the team from Winnipeg and the work that they're doing, sitting 2-0 here as we start the fourth end.
And we couldn't obviously have this team without their sponsors too. I know we've been talking about the help that these teams get. Bear and Bear, SAS Integrated Security Solutions, Winmar Freight Group, Less Alignments, M&M Food Market, Ashma and Larson's Memorials. These are the people in the local Team Wiebe area that are helping these guys do what they got to do. So you got a ton of sponsorship here, a ton of people helping out for this event at the Astec Safety Challenge, first ever. And then the backing for these teams is special too. So if you're listening, any of those sponsors out there, we appreciate you and what you're working to do with Ryan Wiebe and his team.
And first shot here for Team Sluchinski, Dylan Webster, the lead for the team. And again, these guys are from Airdrie, Alberta, and playing out of the Airdrie Curling Club. And again, like you just said, they can't do it without great sponsors, and these guys have some tremendous sponsors. The Strike Group, Sundre Golf Club, which is a tremendous place. I spend lots of time in Sundre in the summer. NLSS Construction, RSM, Big Guns, Clubhouse, Kelly Turner, Dynasty, and Hardline are big sponsors of Team Sluchinski, and we thank them for your sponsorship so these guys can be here playing in this great event.
Okay, so Wiebe's up 2. That the end obviously didn't go the way that either team. I mean, you steal one, but what are you thinking here now that your Team Sluchinski and you gotta get on the board here? I think we're N4. There's only so much game to play.
Yeah, and again, you know, games is a game of millimeters and centimeters, not inches.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, yeah, Aaron Sluchinski and his guys, they need to get on the board, and they're going to do everything they can to find a way to make 2 here. And again, if you're Ryan Wiebe, you're just trying to continue to take singles, right?
Why
Right? If
not?
you can steal another one here in the 4th end and really put a lot of pressure on these guys as we move into the back half of the game, you know, that's ultimate. But at the end of the day, you know, we'll see what Team Sluchinski is able to do as they get going here. As the second rocks here from Keir Drummond.
What I always find fascinating, Kyle, is obviously I'm nowhere near caliber, even in the local mixed league. But when we talk about curling as a game, the guys come in with strategies. Obviously, guys come in with preconceived notions of what they want it to look like. But as the game unfolds, it could be a shot by shot thing.
Yeah.
These guys are tweaking on the fly every single shot. It seems like.
The amount of preparation that goes into these games, and obviously, you know, they study and they work on different things, and they have coaches that are keeping statistics, and the amount of work that goes on behind the scenes for these guys that, you know, at the end of the day, these guys have formed teams for their opportunities to try and vie for an Olympic berth in a
Right.
few years.
Right.
And all of these events in the first couple of years as they're preparing for the Olympic trials is again continuing to learn and grow, and every opportunity to play in an event is an opportunity to grow. And these guys are all, you know, the ultimate prize for them is to go to the Olympic Games. And you know, you don't understand the amount of preparation and work that's going on with the coaches and psychologists and team psychologists
Yeah.
and massage therapists and trainers.
Yep.
You know, these guys have all of those people helping them and a team of people to get them to the top level so they can perform for these events.
So that rock from Team Wiebe, so it's just slightly touching top 4 foot. Well, I wanted it to get buried, I think, on that one, Kyle, when he was hoping for it, tucking a little bit further on the top guard there. But obviously controlling the house right now for Team Wiebe.
Yeah, and Drummond can see half this rock, and he's definitely going to come down with a control takeout weight and try and sit right there and start to force a little bit here on Team Wiebe. Guys are on this. Webster, Hardy, sweeping hard on this,
Oh,
and the tick. Didn't get on it early enough. Weren't able to hold that line. So now opportunity again here for Team Wiebe. Great opportunity for them sitting first and second shot. And most important to get a rock right back in the exact same spot.
we talked earlier, control of the house.
So
You have one miss, and it just gives a ton of momentum swing, obviously, to Team Wiebe up 2, looking to keep the pressure on Sluchinski here.
So again, for this shot, we're looking for 16-5 hog to hog, right? They want to set this just, 4 or 5 feet outside, as close as they can to the center line.
Easy, Adam. Easy. 1.5. Got max room.
Listening to these guys, I mean, we're gonna listen in. But Kyle, when he's saying 1.5 to 2, what is he saying there for people just tuning in on the stream?
For them, they're 1.5, 2 is how far they feel it needs to curl.
Okay.
Right? How 1.5, 2, they need this to move. And again, great shot, right? Perfect shot.
Yeah.
By Sean Flatt, setting things up here as we get into the third shots coming up here after Here Drummond throws his second shot.
We're making them work.
Looks as though we're going to see a peel of that guard, and he's hoping to maybe connect with the second one just above.
I was
at
going
the
to
top
ask
of the
you
floor.
there, right? Like he's open for the peel, obviously clean up and open up the front. But ideally, if he could chip the rock in the top 4 foot, that would work too.
Coming down with some real heavy weight here.
Great shot.
Gets the double and sits.
Great shot.
Awesome shot after a tough first shot in the end. Drummond comes back with an excellent second shot to help his team out and clear some things out of the house. Now Team Wiebe looks as though we're going to come in with a draw. And again, Ty's going to want this to sit just above the tee line. And I would assume they're probably going to come just to the top of the button or just touching the button.
Right, you don't want too deep here, obviously, Kyle, because if you make that move now, you got backing, and Sluchinski can come down there and sit right on top of it. So
Absolutely.
placing right now is ideal to keep control and momentum on your side of the end.
And again, for Wiebe, they're trying to force Sluchinski to take one here and get the hammer back. But again, it's an opportunity to force some hands, and guys are getting on this quick. The Flat brothers are cleaning this one. Good line. Guys need this to move.
Got to curl, not curl.
First shot from Ty Delio, Team Wiebe.
You just got to curl.
Guys need this to move. Guys are hard on it. Great weight. Great weight. Little bit deep below the tee line. So now Team Sluchinski automatically quick decision. He wants this one to sit right on top, just above the tee line.
Yeah, that rock didn't even finish moving, and Sluchinski said, pad down. Let's put the one right on top. Nose freeze, sit there, own the button, keep the pressure on.
Yeah, he was right quick to his third Jeremy Hardy, saying this is where I want it. Again, an opportunity for Sluchinski to gain a little bit of control here at the top of the house as they look to find their 2 points and get themselves on the board and get themselves in the game. And again, it's game of inches and an opportunity here. So we'll see where Jeremy Hardy can leave this one.
I think our best way to score 2 is to
We'll listen in to see what these guys are. Well, I'm sorry, these guys aren't mic'd up on this side, so we'll try to relay. You get a little piece of action too every once in a while. You get some audio off of Team Wiebe and on Team Sluchinski, but obviously first shot here. The third.
Jeremy Hardy coming down with his first shot.
Line's good. Line's perfect. Yep.
Line looks good.
Curl.
Needed to curl. Here it goes.
Asking for curl now.
Now they're going to push it. Come on, boys. Let's get her there.
It came to the outside face of that rock. They were hoping obviously for nose and a little less weight on that one, Kyle.
Yeah, it didn't get the curl. Didn't get the curl that they wanted. But again, they did get that pushback, and they are sitting shot rock right now. Again, good opportunity for Ty Delio to push that one back a little bit with some quiet weight as it sits a little bit open, and have them sitting 1, 2, 3.
Line's good. Adam's rock. Line's good. Line's nice. Adam, line. Hard line.
Guys are on it hard. They really need to get this one by.
It's like Ty Delio didn't have the weight for this one, Kyle.
No, definitely didn't have the weight.
Different path, maybe weight came off. Like
You hear Wiebe there say to Ty, different path. Is that going to be a factor for us? And now the postmortem begins, right? So what happened with that one?
So now, Aaron Sluchinski, what is your game plan here as you're trying to get yourself in for 2? It looks like they're looking at that top guard, and they want to bump it back and see if they can make it sit in there for 2.
That's a lengthy raise when you're looking at where that rock position is on the sheet right now.
And again, the angle, there's nothing stopping it from it. and I can totally understand why they don't want to go for that other red rock that's just on the center line.
Yep.
So again, if they can make this bump in, have it sit just in the 4-foot, you're sitting with 2 and extremely well covered.
If you're just tuning in on the stream, we appreciate you being here. It's the Astec Safety Challenge. Evan Dagenhart alongside Kyle Mulligan, and world-class event. People from all over. Kyle, any updates on how many people we have on the stream right now? The last time we checked, it was close to 800 people globally tuning in for this event at 9 a.m. Mountain Time on a Thursday, a balmy Thursday in Lloydminster.
Yeah, I don't have an update on the stream, but I'm sure we'll get some numbers here quickly. But again, not only do you have great amount of people, and here's the raise. What a shot.
Right there, it's what you called it, right? You said he's not going to touch that center guard.
Yeah.
The shot was there. The path was clear. Controlled weight.
Again, I think they were hoping to have it sit on top of each other so they'd be shot 1 and 2. But what a great shot by Jeremy Hardy. Had a little bit of difficulty back in the second end, right? But here in the fourth, awesome 2 shots to make things extremely difficult for Ryan Wiebe right now.
Let's listen in to see what Ryan and Ty are talking about.
Let him play that. Even if he makes it, you guard, it's like 2. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think we're guarding their tap. Like this.
First shot for Ryan Wiebe out of the Winnipeg Curling Club, Manitoba. World number 32, Canadian number 16.
I think we're also playing like a scoreboard move, right?
So when he says playing a scoreboard move, Kyle, what does he mean by that? He's just trying to manage the ends they have left and control?
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, a scoreboard move and trying to limit damage, right? The last thing you want to do here is give up 3, possibly 4.
Right.
Right. So at the end of the day, now it's about control damage and make sure that, if you can push Sluchinski to only get 1 here, fantastic. If they get 2, you're 2-2. You got the hammer back going into the 5th end.
Right.
And again, you're back into control. So
if you're new to curling, it's not just about the shots that you're making right now. You're thinking in real time, 3 or 4 ends deep.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, when you're going into the 8th end, what do you want to have?
The hammer.
You want the hammer. So again, all about setup. And again, just goes to show what kind of a chess match this really is.
First shot from Ryan, down on the ice now with the Flat brothers. Ty saying it's got to sit, Kyle.
Doesn't want it to over curl on the other side of the center line, which unfortunately it did. Which now leaves that red rock available for another angle raise. And great opportunity here for Aaron to set himself up.
Still throwing kind of okay, but yeah. You can kind of stab it out there to you. Like, yeah, that's all. Yeah. I mean, it is.
And now with that last shot where they had the angle raise, now he's created a path for himself to be able to make the draw in to come in and make this a well-covered sit for 2.
Before, it was too tight, obviously, now, but that port's opened up. Sluchinski now.
If we try to play it on our next, it's
Get the front end on it. Boys need to hold her steady here.
Gets it through the port. Now they got to pull it.
Great touch. Get her moving, boys. And that right there, heck of a shot. Controlled weight.
I don't hate just guarding.
Didn't get it as low as he'd like, but now he's set up for an opportunity to tap that back for the 2, and also takes that port away from Ryan to be able to come in and cause a little bit of damage and force him to the 1. So
looking at the setup now, listening to Ryan and Ty, they're thinking of coming around their top guard there, Kyle, and cutting down, minimizing the damage here.
They're looking at a couple different options. But it definitely looks like they're gonna come in and try and slim this house up,
right?
And really make it difficult for Aaron to get his 2. If they can make this come in, sit full 8, maybe touch a bit of the 4.
Yeah, exactly.
definitely makes things interesting.
You can only get the back one.
Same weight, I'll just get it out straight to you.
No, I would only ever.
Ryan saying, gonna play the same weight as my last shot, but I'll let you guys handle it from here.
Again, look at that's how much trust he has in his front end,
Yeah.
right? Here we go. Ryan Wiebe, last shot here in the fourth end,
Nice this time.
Mine's better.
trying to force Aaron Sluchinski into taking one here in the fourth.
You like the way you do it.
Takes away that that tap back, right? So takes one of the bullets out of Sluchinski's hands. Now trying to make these things line up as Aaron tries to get in for his two. Does he go with the angle raise tap on the one on the eighth? Or does he come around on the other side with a draw and try and get absolute full 4 foot?
I mean, looking at the confidence and Hardy in throwing the shot, so they've seen the angle already on that raise, that angle raise, right? If he's looking at that, or are you saying he's going to come right through and just try to sit with the draw?
Well, you just saw Kerr Drummond just go here. Why don't we tap back this yellow onto our red into the house? That's a lot of angles.
A lot of granite.
You know, as these guys again looking to get on the board here, super important for them to find a way to get to, and get themselves back to even par with Team Wiebe. Really, really important shot, game-changing shot here early in the fourth end in draw number 1 at the Astec Safety Challenge. Aaron Sluchinski, Ryan Wiebe. Ryan Wiebe up 2-0 after the third end. Coming down to our final rock for our Aaron Sluchinski.
Curling out of Airdrie, world number 16 and Canadian number 6 coming into the Astec Safety Challenge. And you got the whole team kind of looking at angles, deliberating here.
You know, when you get to this level, a lot of these guys, and again, I don't know Dylan Webster, Kerr Drummond from previous years or where they've played for junior, but a lot of these guys were skiffs and thirds prior to joining up to make these super teams before they come into these kind of events and into these years. So again, you know, clearly, you know, Dylan has some push when they're making these decisions, as he's in there with Aaron right now trying to figure out what the angle is and how they're going to make this happen so they can find a way to get two. Now again, if they go for the angle raise and they miss, you still got to make sure you get one.
Well, that's the other thing. To me, I'm going. You're thinking about two, but really we shouldn't be getting ourselves in a position where we lose hammer and we don't get the points that we need to get on the board to make this thing evened up with Wiebe. So, like, I don't know, as a guy who's kind of maybe playing a conservative game, and maybe that's why I'm up here, they're down there. You're looking at still making sure that what you do at the front of the house here doesn't damage what you've already got established.
Here we go with the angle raise, yellow on red. Here's the shot, Aaron Sluchinski. Final shot here in 4.
Oh my goodness!
Wow.
Didn't draw it up like that.
He did not draw that up, but what a shot. Aaron Sluchinski gets his 2 here in the 4th end. And
you gotta be good to be lucky. You gotta be lucky to be good sometimes, Kyle. And that's the game of curling right there.
There's only one other guy that I know that could make that shot. Daryl Hanley. Daryl Hanley could have made that shot. Other than that, there's no one that could have done that outside of Aaron Sluchinski and Daryl Hanley. What a shot. Gets himself. You sometimes got to get a good break, right? And he got a great break.
You watch these guys. I mean, they've been battling some missed shots on both sides, and it's exactly what you said. You need a break. Sometimes momentum's going to swing. Now for Wiebe, you're thinking, well, like we had it in the bag, right? So the psychology of this game is, okay, reset. It's 2-2. We're N5. Lots of game left to be played.
Going into the 5th end, tied 2-2. Team Wiebe with the hammer, right? And again, it's game management.
Game management, 100%. You talked about these guys saying it's a scoreboard play. Okay, so a little bit of luck. Let's move on. Lots of game left, 2-2. It's basically, if you're thinking about it, my dad out in Goodsell, Saskatchewan, he might be listening now. Might not be, but I want to give him a shout out. He said, tie game. Somebody scores another point, they're going to win this thing, right? So
Good old Good Soil, Saskatchewan, Northern Meadows Golf Club.
Let's go.
What a great golf course up there under new ownership a year ago. Had the opportunity to play up there quite a bit when I was younger, and a beautiful place. But a quick update for everybody. So if you're watching Daryl and Scott as they're doing Team Schneider and Team McEwen, after 3 ends, you've got McEwen up 2-1. But again, they just finished their 4th end. Not sure, or just getting ready to finish their 4th end. Final shots coming here as Catlin Schneider gets ready to throw his final rock. And then on sheet 3, Team Shumay versus Team Goskins, you've got a 3-2 game for Team Shumay as they're playing in the 5th end.
So we look across the sheets here for the first draw, Kyle, and tight games, competitive games so far across all games so far.
Absolutely no runaways. And again, you got the best players in the world. These guys make very few mistakes. And when they do, there's capitalized. But at the end of the day, we've got 3 great games going on here. Again, next draw is up at 12:30 this afternoon, followed by a 4:30 draw and a draw at 7:30 tonight. And we've got some unbelievable talent that's coming up later this afternoon. You've got Team Botcher. You've got Gushu.
Right.
Olympic, Worlds, Canadian champion. Gonna be in town. I know they were having some trouble getting out and getting here, so they're gonna be here later this afternoon.
World number 1 already here. Mixing
Tornes.
mingling with the curlers last night in the
Yep.
junior side, just special.
So as we get going here in the 5th end, 3 rocks in play. Team Wiebe with the hammer.
2-2 game coming off a pretty. How would you describe that shot, Kyle? Like, I mean, you draw it up lucky, obviously, but they had
at
a
the end of
vision.
the day, when you look at the scoreboard, you don't see pictures.
You
Right?
see the
You look at the scoreboard, it's 2-2.
Let's
right?
go.
You own it. Right? You remember when I got 2 in the 4th end? That's what Aaron's gonna say later.
Right.
Right? So, at the end of the day, doesn't matter how you get there, you just gotta get there.
I love that.
15.
Great shot here.
Wiebe said 15. That's the call on those guys. That's
Yep.
what they were timing on.
Adam Flat with a great draw in, just sitting top of the tee line, just outside the 4 full 8. Again, great shot. And again, the lead shots are so important, right? Setting up the end, setting up the opportunities for the skips and the thirds to really hammer in some points. But again, it all starts with great shots from your lead.
Without the foundation on the front side, you can't play the strategy you want to play for that end. Drummond now. Hey, Kyle, they're hoping for a run back here.
Didn't get it.
Clears the house, keeps things open. So obviously, we're hoping for a little extra. Didn't get her, but nice peel.
Absolutely.
We just peel these to blank.
You
right?
can make this.
That's what I mean. Like, don't try like.
Also
not
just
try-
wrap.
warmer than normal just because.
I think you're just throwing like this and trying to do this.
Yeah.
I think you can spill them both. I think you're going for like normal 2/3, 3/4 ish. Normal.
Even just clearing the bags in from the start.
We've asking for normal weight here,
Fire for like 20 minutes.
saying you can get them both, hoping then potentially that this opens up a shot.
It's all about control, right? The whole game is about control and understanding your limitations and what you need to create opportunities down the road here.
Whoa! Roll it. Oh, almost so good.
Great shot by Sean Flat.
There's stuff to stick them both. Good shot.
Again, Team Wiebe sitting 1.
Stuff? That's the thing. Yeah, I
just rip those out, then it's
yeah.
over.
I know, but like a 2.
It's a very, very
It's not
soft
enough.
two.
But you could have made them both. You could have made them really. But the blank is good. I agree. Like the blank is.
Kerr Drummond with his second.
Clean. Clean. Nice throw.
Sean, that was really cool.
watch ready and when
Anything Yep.
just a hair up. We're drunk really nice here.
Sean Flat getting ready to clean out some red granite here and sit. Good control weight. Adam Flat cleaning all the way down.
Shot, John.
Good control shot. And sits right where he wanted to.
Maybe just rip in there.
You see how end-to-end things drastically change, and obviously with the open house up front, it just gives both teams chip away, and then it almost comes down to, will there be a first mistake, or who's going to force that potential to stick around?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, you could have nosed it. Nose wasn't good. Nose was like leaving the center there. It does. It does. You roll further and it sticks.
Dylan Webster here with the shot. Tit for tat.
Good controlled shot. They're just going to trade angles here until somebody decides to split her out and keep her wide open.
Okay.
They got Ty Delio with his first shot of the fifth end, 2-2 game. Ryan Wiebe with the hammer.
And again, these guys have taken this path now for the last 3 shots. So again, another control shot. Got to make sure you stick around in the house.
You're saying, Kyle, if you don't, I mean, we're trying to keep rocks in, obviously, but for me, looking at it going, these guys are trying to blank, these guys are trying to force. At what point here do you just shove one there under the top guard? Or is it just now about controlling and taking the end and trying to get to the sixth?
You know, right now, I think for Team Wiebe, you know, they want to blank here. They want to get out of this end. They want to continue to control it. Again, you know, the team that has the hammer in the sixth is trying to keep it into the eighth, right? You want to score in the sixth, force them to take one in the seventh, and you've got control coming down in the eighth end. So, you know, again, if Team Wiebe had missed that hit, then Aaron Sluchinski would obviously be going in behind that cover, right? But right now he's going down this path, and
when they make contact, though, it looked like they.
Ty Delio here with his second shot here in the fifth end, looking for the hit and stick. Good control weights.
Go, yep.
They're feeling comfortable. Obviously, both teams have thrown this shot. This will be the fourth shot now. Just controlled weight, and they slowly chip away, and eventually that rock's going to work itself out of the rings.
And you know what? Third time down on this path. They've played a lot of the game in the odd ends on this side of the ice, on the left-hand side of the ice. So again, you can definitely tell they're feeling very comfortable. Now again, Aaron Sluchinski's looking for the hit and roll and get it in behind cover. And again, at some point, one of the teams had to make this play, and if Aaron's going to find a way to make two, he's got to find a way to get one under cover and have Ryan miss with his last shot.
That for me was kind of where I was going with that initial question, is going like you're almost waiting for the guy to make that play. Or are you going to make that play? It's almost like who's going to make the first move. It's the chess match. You're waiting.
A game of cat and mouse, right? So here we go. Aaron with a big shot here to try and get his two. Needs to get the hit and roll under cover. Rock on its way.
Curl.
Guys are asking for it to curl. Catches it thick. Doesn't get the roll.
A little bit of movement, but obviously still wide open.
Still gets it in the 12-foot though.
Too far. Yeah.
Leaving the roll.
Again, Ryan's now got an opportunity where he can hit and roll and really force Aaron here. If he can keep this inside the 12-foot, in behind the yellow with the roll, makes for a very difficult shot for them to take it out and would force the draw for Aaron to take one.
It shows you how critical that one yellow guard is to this whole piece in the chess match right now.
Absolutely, and that one yellow rock that's sitting out front is still the rock that Adam Flat threw.
Right.
Again, good leads. Got to have good leads.
I love it. We keep coming back to this theme as two guys who played front end.
Good board.
Here we go, Ryan Wiebe, final shot here in the 5th. Or, sorry, his first shot.
His first shot.
I'm not that bright.
I appreciate you being here regardless,
You
Kyle.
know what? It's 10:30, and I've made a couple mistakes this early, but I promise I'll be good in the afternoon.
We're not pretending.
No,
This is who we
absolutely
are.
not.
If you're on the stream right now,
Absolutely not.
just a couple of Albertan boys with some headsets on.
Ryan looking for the hit here. Needs this to move. Get the roll.
And that's just a masterful shot.
Great
by Ryan
push.
Wiebe.
Great shot. Really good shot.
That's great.
Now, if you're Sluchinski, this is going to make you think, right? It was looking like a pretty routine end. This is going to make you think. I mean, it's not completely buried behind that top guard, but
Well, again, Aaron's looking for a way to force Ryan to take one here, right? So he needs to hit and stick if he can create an opportunity where he's a little bit covered and Ryan makes a mistake, then again they get their steal here. But at the end of the day, got to make sure that you don't leave this one either.
Sluchinski now with his first in the
No, this
fifth.
should be his final. This should be his final
There you
shot.
go. I just wanted to make you feel good. You
Thanks,
and I
buddy.
are gonna, yeah.
No, I appreciate it. Now I feel way better. If the head guy's making a mistake, then I'm good. I can make them all day long.
We're in the same boat, Kyle.
Here we go, Aaron Sluchinski, final rock here in the 5th end. Needs this one to hit and stick around. Guys need this to curl. Really need it to curl here.
Push now from Drummond.
Gets the hit, gets the roll. Gonna
Sticks
force
around.
Ryan to make a shot. And again, looking for the blank end for Ryan Wiebe to have some control going into the 6th end. As they are in a 2-2 battle with Team Sluchinski here at the Astec Safety Challenge. First draw. Lots of excitement. Lots of fun.
Oh yeah, people are pumped. You're looking at the people behind these guys and the bleachers behind and people on the sides. It's smiles dialed in. People are talking. People are curling. It's -40. It's -1 billion outside, but it doesn't seem to matter right now.
Well, you don't say this very often, but it's actually warmer in the rink than it is outside.
Yes, the
And
place to be.
that doesn't happen very often in curling season.
All right, Wiebe with his last.
They need the roll, try and get the blank. Don't get it.
Oh wow.
And as you can hear, Ryan, not happy with that shot.
No, and he
That
kept
may have been a bad word.
I think he kept her clean from the stream.
Yeah.
Maybe had the first two
Yeah,
syllables
I
of that
think
word.
he was going somewhere. But again, Wiebe gets their single here in the 5th. And again, very few rocks in play. And
Wow.
and Sluchinski's able to get out with to force Wiebe to take the single, and going into the 6th with the hammer. So
Well, you talked about control. You talked about the 6 being incredibly important, especially to have that hammer and then hopefully take it back home at 8. So to walk me through, like that hit and stick, it feels like, hey, I got a point. But in the strategy of the game,
it's a gut punch.
it's a gut punch.
As the skip, Ryan's trying to get out of this end and get himself into the 6th, holding the hammer and in a tie game. But again, mistakes happen, things happen. Now you got to recover. How are they going to recover? And they need to find a way to hold Sluchinski to a single here in the 6th, so they
Right.
can get some power going into the 7th.
Right.
And we'll see where this goes. But again, lead shots here in the 6th end. Adam Flat getting the first rock off here.
Oh, for the line. Nice.
Man, Aaron, we just got a good job from the chairman of the event. We must be doing something right.
Wow.
Yeah, right?
I didn't even know he was standing behind me, Kyle. So
Stealthy.
thanks for the pressure
Yeah,
on that one.
Stealthy.
I was
Gets
in
around.
my own zone, and here we
Yeah.
go. You got to
Yeah.
give credit
Now-
to
Now we've
Jeff.
got pressure.
Yeah, here we go. Dial it in. Let me find my notes here. Heading into the 6th.
curling. Great spot. Really curling. Trying to be tight.
Looks like our man Aaron Sluchinski might have needed a bathroom break as we've got Dylan Webster manning the house right now as we open up the sixth end.
See, and it's one of those things where world class curlers, but we're still all human.
Absolutely. Yeah. Pressure. It's all about the pressure. Right. Second shot here for Adam Flat.
Okay, tight. Yep. You're just gonna stagger.
You're hearing Wiebe there as he's trying to figure out how this thing is going to finish off. And Ty, do I want you on this thing? Do I want you to not? It's just like you said earlier, Kyle. Game of millimeters, depending on where
Absolutely.
these rocks finish.
So Jeremy Hardy here, now throwing lead rocks. Getting ready to bring this one down. And I'm not sure. Oh, Aaron's back, so there we go. All is good in the world. Second shot here for Jeremy Hardy.
Thank you if you're joining us on the stream. Kyle, walk us through. This is a triple knockout style format. So what does that mean for people who might not be familiar and how this is going to shake out over the course of the week?
Well, again, every team is guaranteed 3 games, and they fall into the A, B, C event, and then in the end, you get down to the play downs, which will start happening on Saturday afternoon. And again, there's lots of events where teams go in and lose their first 2 games and still find a way to make their way into the playoffs.
Right.
It's a long haul. It's a lot of curling.
A lot of games.
Obviously you don't want to be you don't want to have to come that way. But again, it's just because you lost 1 or 2 doesn't mean you're out, and you still have an opportunity. And there was an event earlier this year in Okotoks where Team Botcher and Team Cooey went at it in the final, and Cooey came all the way up from the C event, got to the final, and ultimately didn't get the win. But again, fought their way all the way to a final, and again, a paycheck for their team.
Right.
Right. Again, these guys aren't playing for fun.
There's money at stake here.
There's money at stake. There's Olympic ranking points at stake. There's world ranking points at stake. And again, ultimately, these guys all want to make it to the Brier and get ready for their provincial playdowns, which we'll start to see here in February.
Good throw, Sean. Curls there. Yeah.
Sean with a really good shot there from Team Wiebe as Team Sluchinski gets going here with second shots. Kerr Drummond. Looks like they're going to take this one in the house right out here.
Oh, lean. Curl.
Big shot here. Guys asking it to curl. Gets the hit.
Little movement on the inside.
Trying to inch it a little bit closer to that center line, like you said, Aaron. But good shot.
Just like firm hack, easy board.
Kyle, I don't want to be this guy, but it's Evan.
Evan. I have lots of names for people. I'm kind of like Don Cherry.
I've been
right?
called worse. I'm
a lot like Don Cherry. You make up different names, but again, Don doesn't really screw up the Canadian names.
Wow, hey.
Maybe next year we got to get Don Cherry here for this. That'd be great.
You think?
Maybe we can get on his podcast.
A little color?
Yeah, he'd add some color. You can guarantee that, right? Here we go. Good shot. As rocks start to inch to the top of the house, now now you got to start making decisions on how you're going to start getting into the house. And again, for Team Sluchinski, they got to find a way to make 2 here, and again get themselves back in the lead as we head into the last 3 ends of the game.
Sixth end important.
It's an important end.
What's he hoping for here, Kyle? Is he hoping to
Hoping to roll. Hoping to roll in behind his red
his
there.
own red?
I mean, I missed it too. If it's a little less than last. Whoa.
Second shot here for Drummond. Control weight. Looking for the hit and roll.
And he's going to get the movement he wants.
Is he going to get it to bite? Yes, he does.
It's a
Great shot.
shot.
Really good shot. Undercover. Biter. Now Team Weebe's going to bring it into the house, top of the 4-foot. Start to put some pressure on. Ty with his first shot here in the 6th end.
And he's looking to just put one in here behind coverage now. Right now it's the time.
Absolutely is, yep. They really need to get on this and hold it. Really need this to hold. Good sweeping by the front end by the flat boys. To get it by the guard.
Nice. Good.
And a really solid shot.
Nice little good from your skip is always a good sign too when you're throwing a rock. Skip says, yeah, approve.
Yep, absolutely. Vote of confidence down the ice. All right.
Like a third.
Team Sluchinski, what is the play here?
Time to peel.
Looks as though we're going to clean up the front of the house to give ourselves a look.
Sluchinski curling out of the Airdrie Curling Club. World number 16 coming into this one. Canadian number 6.
Girl.
Big weight here. And peels them both out. They need to sweep this one out. Look at that. Even the skip can sweep them. See, those skips aren't just here with pretty faces. They get to work too.
I love that.
Great job. Great shot.
Full team effort. Full team effort. Three-two game in the 6th. Ty Delio now.
Okay, line's okay.
Ryan Wiebe with the hammer.
Adam's
Or
in.
sorry, Sluchinski.
Needs this to get to the center line.
These boys are working on it, Kyle.
That's digging in. They drug that a long way back to the center line. Sean Flat with a little red face there. That was some sweeping.
That was a good effort by the Flat brothers.
Can you imagine going, over the course of a weekend, 8 to 10 games with the way these guys sweep?
Oh,
It's amazing, and the amount of work that goes into it, shoulders, wrists, amazing work. Great job by that front end there to get that as close as they could to the center line.
I kind of feel silly saying, but after our game 1 a week, I wake up the next day, my shoulders are a little bit biting, and
Icing yourself.
Like, what's up? No world-class athleticism over on this side.
Good shot there. Hit and roll. Sitting 2. As now we're going to see some skip shots. Ryan Wiebe getting ready to throw his first.
So you hoping nose on this one, Kyle, or is he hoping to kind of roll behind coverage and keep the center?
Well, he wants to
clean.
keep things interesting, right? So obviously, anytime you get an opportunity to throw it in behind something, creates a little bit more of a difficult shot, right? An open shot for these guys, they're not missing.
Right.
So again, they want to get something in behind cover, and again, they're moving into ice that they haven't used a lot of in this game.
Fair point.
Way out in the 12-foot on the left-hand side of this house. So Ryan with a quiet takeout, hoping to get some rollover behind the 2 reds and sit full 12.
Clean. Yep. Easy. Oh, Adam. Whoa, Adam. Whoa, straight. Whoa.
Got the roll. Tucked it in behind the yellow. Sitting full 8. Good shot.
What you're hearing on the stream right now is Ryan Wiebe skip. Obviously, he's mic'd up down there on ice level, along with Ty Delio, the third for Team Wiebe.
If I was playing, you would never want me on a mic.
You're on a mic right now, Kyle.
But I'm not playing.
Okay.
Right?
Are
I'm
you-
not playing.
You get a little saucy down there sometimes?
You know what? I'm a touch competitive. Right? And, I think it's probably a very good thing that I'm not on the mic
Okay, good.
while I'm playing.
Yeah.
And I can sit up here and I can impart no wisdom on anybody and hopefully create a little bit of entertainment. And again, for those of you that are on the live stream, thank you for taking time out of your
Yeah.
Thursday morning to listen and to watch and support the Astec Safety Challenge here in Lloydminster. It's going to be a great week of curling. 2 games are live streamed every draw. And we're so proud to be here and spend some time watching these great players. Aaron Sluchinski here, first shot. Guys are on it hard. Really good shot sitting too. Right?
It's
Setting
where he wants
themselves
to be.
up.
It's where he wants to be for this end. That's for
Setting themselves up for the 2 here.
I think this is probably easier.
Now Ryan's got a
I thought we could see half rock. Might be a hair straighter out here. Hair straighter. Yeah. Okay, look at them like.
a hair straighter.
I can't even comprehend the caliber of accuracy on these athletes. I mean, when they're saying I'm going to call a hair straighter, I'm going, what does that look
Yeah.
like? What does that look like for a regular Joe just out there on a Thursday
I'm
night?
just hoping to hit it.
Yeah, I'm hoping to
Right?
get any piece of that rock.
Yeah.
That's me.
If I hit this, I'm great. But Ryan Wiebe here, just showing you how precise these guys are
Yeah.
and how well they know their games and know the feel. And it's amazing as we're now in the 6th end and looks as though guys are getting pretty adjusted to what's going on with the ice.
Ryan Wiebe now.
Yep.
Over to the Flat Brothers now.
Last shot for Ryan here in the 6th. Needs to get some roll under the yellow. Gets a little bit of a roll. Good shot. Gonna force Aaron to make a really good shot here, and hopefully he's gonna be able to get his hit and stick for 2 and give himself a 4-3 lead heading into the 7th end. But again, this isn't just an easy shot. There's some pressure here.
It shows you too, though. Anything's possible. Anything can happen once the rock is released, obviously. And these guys are going to be watching it the whole way through. It might seem routine for them, but this is just as an important shot as anything.
Like the second guy.
Aaron Sluchinski with his last rock here in the 6th. Looking for the hit and stick for 2.
Just calling for a clean on this one. Now we're by. And he'll
And
get
a
it.
hit. And stick.
2 for Sluchinski. Makes it a 4-3 game. Wiebe with hammer coming into the 7th. So now we talk about that end that should have been a blank. And you talk about the momentum swing. What are you thinking now if your team Wiebe going, okay, we lost control in the 6th. We have some potential in the 7th, but might not be an ideal situation if you want the control in the 8th.
Well, again, as you can see, both teams here having a quick little conference to make sure that they know what the game plan is. And again, we'll see how things set up after the first 6-7 shots.
Yeah, let's go.
What's that? Well, that's fine then.
We'll leave you now as we go to a word from one of our sponsors.
Yeah, that's solid.
Really good action down here. I've been gazing across 3 games this morning.
Yeah.
A Lloydminster legend.
I lived in all day.
Everything that rocks.
Time to rock.
1061. The
I don't know if they set it up that way for a reason, Kyle, but gotta send some love to my work crew over at the Goat. That's where I hail on a 9 to 5, and Mike McGuire in the mornings for putting that video together. Pretty special for us as a company and a business in town to be here, and proud to be a part of this event. That's for sure.
You know what? The media sponsorship is huge to any event, and I saw Mr. Lampow here last night taking pictures and talking to the teams and being around, and again, you know, to be able to get the message out there to the people in Lloydminster and surrounding area and listening area that the Goat has, super important. I remember when the Goat came to town,
Early 2000s.
I was sitting in my car at high school. I'm aging myself, but you know, I remember sitting there as we were all waiting for the Goat to go live, and Stu Dent and Anita Dent, the original owners of the Goat, when they brought it to town. I remember Doug Zakodnik was the general sales manager back at that time, who was a huge supporter of the Lloydminster Golf and Curling Center back in the day, and yeah, the Goat has been a tremendous voice here in Lloydminster for, I gotta believe, close to 23 years now.
Yeah, I launched in 2001, and just a heritage rock station, and that's I don't like to talk about myself. A lot of people don't, but obviously we wouldn't be where we were without the supportive business community and the people in town for this many years, and just want to send some love to that crew there, and for giving me some space to commentate on curling for the first time in my life, a game that I love, and chalk this one off the bucket list, Kyle. That's pretty special for me too. So happy to be involved.
I think you can consider this work.
Yeah,
right. I think this is work for sure. So again, into the lead rocks here in the 7th end, and again for Team Wiebe, obviously they got to find a way to make 2, and if they don't see the opportunity of making 2, you know, as we get through into the third rocks, then they got to find a way to blank.
Ideally, I mean, you talked about it a couple of times. It's so important to have control, and you want that control coming home. And if you don't have a spot to get multiple points in this end, then clean it up. And let's see if we can take that shot in that final 8th end.
And that's, you know, the reality is, what do you feel most comfortable with? Do you prefer to be 1 up with no hammer, or do you feel better being 1 down with hammer?
Fair
coming
point.
home? And
right.
And again, I think most of these guys out on the ice would prefer to have the hammer no matter what coming home.
Give me the final rock, right?
And you know, again, you know, that's what these skips play for. That's what these teams play for. And when the pressure's on, they want it. So we'll definitely see how this end transpires and where these guys go.
Big line call here coming now.
Need to get this one by the guard there. Gonna rub.
Small bounce. It's a heavy sweep. That was a good sweep to get her by the top center guard. If you're just tuning in, welcome. Astec Safety Challenge, the first Astec Safety Challenge from the Lloydminster Golf and Curling Center, Lloydminster, Alberta. Saskatchewan, I should say, actually.
You know, a huge shot here on sheet 5. Catlin Schneider looked like he was going to blow out a lung as he was yelling at his leads, or as his front end, to get that one by. But a big game over on the 5th sheet as McEwen is up 4-2 on Schneider as they're playing in the 6th. Over on sheet 3, we're getting into skip stones as Team Goggins is up 4-3 on Team Shumay as they're in final stones here in the 6th. But back to our feature game and the game that we're supposed to care about.
Hey, these guys are into a slogfest too. It's been a very controlled game so far. The game's gone by very quick for me, Kyle. It's just special to watch these athletes. But you can tell now that the pressure is on, right? We got 2 ends left. It's anybody's game. Let's see what Wiebe wants to do with Hammer here as he deliberates with Ty Delio on what it looks like for them as they control third stones. Or third stones, yeah.
Again, just trying to get, no, they're nowhere near the third stones yet, is where, you know, they're just trying to get angles sorted out.
Right, but I mean, they're thinking about, okay, what's he doing? What are we going to do? They're thinking about the plan in place.
You don't really want to like sit.
You know, the one thing in this event, and again, lots of times when you're watching the provincial playdowns or the grand slams, there's clocks,
Yes.
right? The one thing we don't have, and I wish they did, is to make sure the game plays quick. But we don't have any clocks, so these guys can take some time. Obviously, professional courtesy is that you don't take forever. But again, they don't have the pressure of the clock this week. So again, they will take a little bit more time to deliberate and take a look and make sure they've got the right shots. As again, we're playing for $100,000 here this week at the Astec Safety Challenge. Every shot means something, and every end is super important. So again, these guys are playing for some big money here, and the only way that big money happens is because of the great sponsorships here in Lloydminster this week.
Yeah, and those sponsors, a number of them, and we're going to rattle through a couple of them. Bar Engineering, you see them on the ice, and it's time promotion. Bought a shirt last night, soft, feels good, keeping me warm in -40. So if you want a little piece of this action, it's time promotions is where it's at.
Oh, you were talking about your shirt. I thought you were talking about me being soft. That was a fat joke. I thought you were going for.
No, it was not.
But you're right. It's time promotion. Some of the other ones, Musgrave Agencies, MNP is sponsor of the VIP Sponsor Lounge, Arby's Fan Zone, which we have here, where we're going to have some kids here this afternoon, which is going to be awesome. Canadian Angus, Fountain Tire, L&L Oilfield, Boundary Ford, Lloydminster Exhibition Association, Bar Engineering, as we already mentioned, Industrial Scientific, The Tent Guys, great company, done lots of work with Pam and the team over at The Tent Guys, Jason Arden and Associates of Cooperators, Velocity Truck Centers, Strathcona Resources, Bandit Energy, T-Bar 1, Kelro Pump and Mechanical, Beckson Construction, RL Electric Motor Rewinding, Synergy Credit Union. They're the host over at the Lloydminster Exhibition. We'll talk more about that before the end of the game. The Gold Horse Casino, obviously the media sponsor, the GOAT 1061, the hotel partnership with the Border Inn and Suites, and obviously the host club, Lloydminster Curling Club, and the city of Lloydminster have created the opportunity for us to have this event. So
Couldn't do it
thank you
without
to
any of
everybody
those. Yeah,
for your
thank you.
support.
If he stuffs, he's still top 8, and then even if you're here, half buried's fine.
Things are starting to get intense, right? As we move into Sean Flatt's second shot here in the 7th end.
Try to get at least a piece tucked so he doesn't have that same shot.
Ty saying looking for some coverage. Sean Flatt now. Second stone.
Gets heavy.
In line.
Right out of the hand, you could hear Ty say he thought it was a bit heavy. And they don't have the line right now, as this is going to tick.
Looking to get separation from this one, Kyle. You don't want to stuff it there.
Nope. But again, they're still highly covered. But now it looks like Aaron is going to call for the freeze on top of that rock, just on the button.
If you're looking for like 14-8.
Big shot here for Dylan Webster,
I think it's getting a little bit everywhere.
as he looks to bring this one into the house. Or maybe.
Line's good. Whoa. Got a curl.
Yeah, he might be playing the freeze and then the back.
Curl. Curl.
Needs this one to curl. It's got lots of room. Guys are starting to drag it here.
You see the technique on the broom there, right? It looked wide. It looked like it didn't have a chance, and then just a couple of strokes, and that's
Bring
how
it right back.
technical- Yeah, that's how technical these guys are.
It's wild what these guys can do and how they can manipulate the rock. And again, it's an art form, right? This sport. If you've never played it, if you've never been out on the ice, make sure you look up to your local curling club. It's a tremendous game. It's something you could do for your entire life. The other day when I got to town, I came in. It was the seniors that were down and playing on the ice, and with the way the ice is, those folks have never seen the ice curl like that ever.
Yeah.
And even they truly enjoyed it on Tuesday afternoon here. And again, get your local club and find an opportunity to get into the game. And it's a great game. One you can do for life. You get some tremendous friendships, and at the end of the day, that's what the game's all about.
Listening now is
Yeah. Yeah, like here and just flip half rock to that. Yeah. Yeah. No, I like that. Yeah.
I love that Adam Flatt comes down to talk to the skip,
yeah.
right? Trying to add some perspective, maybe a different voice, different way to look at it.
And thinking too, for me as the sweeper, what do you want from me in this situation too, right? If I understand the shot,
All right.
Well, we're gonna see some granite move here.
big weight coming, Cal. Just joking.
Whoa. Whoa. Yep. Whoa. 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 Curl. 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 Pretty good.
Okay.
Got the separation they were looking for.
That's what he was hoping for when he was calling it, wasn't he? Wiebe was saying, "Hey, let's split these up a little bit. Let's mix
Create
it up."
some opportunity
Yeah.
where they've got some angle raises here where they can get down to that one on the button. Now Team Sluchinski looking to take that angle raise away. So they're going to come and set a guard in between the yellows there. Try and take some angles away from Team Wiebe.
Where does he want this one? Does he want it closer to the one that's just biting on the 12? Does he want a little bit of separation in between? Ideally, where's
He
the
wants
spacing?
this on the right-hand side of the center line, maybe full center, and 2 to 3 feet above it.
Yeah, you don't want to get too tight, obviously, right?
No, absolutely not. A little bit of a miss there.
The rip or like.
Too high on that last rock.
Yeah. Good set.
Is that what you're talking about, Kyle? And that he wanted it a little deeper?
He wanted that in between that high yellow guard and in between the other two yellows there that are just inside the 12-foot. But again, that doesn't do a lot of damage to him. Doesn't create a lot of opportunity for Ryan either. But
That's tough to make.
but again, he's got to find a way to
Yeah.
get inside the house here. He's got to find a way to make two.
Right.
Right. That's the key part here. How am I going to make two? And again, if you're not going to have the hammer going into the 8th, you better be up.
Right. And as it stands now, Sluchinski has
The thing is though, like
buried one in there.
higher, he does this. It might go like bang bang, right? Like there's not a lot of good spots you can put this, right? Like let's say he's right here. It's just bang, get them both.
Listening to Ty
Leave it on the A.
and Ryan as they talk about what the shot's going to look like.
He might play board and just knows it. I know. Yeah. Okay.
Still gonna take 2 rocks to do anything with these. Like we have to like get them going now.
Yeah. What about playing board on the yellow into these and just rolling it for this? Like kind of playing it and rolling it to leave yourself an angle at the end. That's what Sean kind of suggested, playing it into this.
Yeah, okay.
And moving these with like a good board. Playing it high side with board into the, what's up? Yeah, but at least this like playing this into it opens the stagger up. Like this, you've still got no shot.
Yeah, yeah. I know.
Okay. I don't hate board 3/4 playing it into that one and
Yeah. Okay. Try to roll.
trying to move the front and leave yourself an angle. Like
Yeah.
just
Bit
like
of
a board. Get control-ish.
Bit of a conversation there, Kyle. It seems like everybody's on the same page now.
I'm thinking you're even throwing closer to like a 10-5. That last one didn't have much action.
All right, looks like the guys have made a decision. They want to get some movement here for sure. They need to get a little bit of control of that front of the house.
At least to open up a shot at getting your 2.
Yep. Hey! Hey! Whoa! 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 Curl! Jeez.
Did not get the angle he wanted on that top stone, Kyle. And that really just kind of splits that guard, and you hear them now react to that shot. Not what they were hoping for at all.
No, but as you said earlier in the game, you gotta flush it.
You got to flush it.
Right. This is you're down to the short strokes here. We've got 10 rocks left to be thrown. This is an important game, and again, getting off to a good start here at the Astec Safety Challenge. It'll be interesting to see what Aaron decides to do here with his first shot, and how he looks to protect the one that he has sitting right on the nail.
So watching these guys liberate right now, Kyle, if you're Sluchinski, are you burying one in behind those two yellows? Are you jamming it up so they can't stagger him again?
Yeah, you're making life difficult, right? You're trying to take away any angle raise that they may have. Thankfully that missed rock that Jeremy threw just before, where it came up high in the hog,
Right.
actually is now working out for them.
Completely.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking.
And Aaron now, he definitely wants to guard and take those two yellows away, and take any angle raise away. So at the end of the day, what he's probably going to leave Ryan with is an in-turn draw to come in and try and sit on top for one. That's what he's trying to leave him with here. So he's trying to take away this angle with the out-turn draw, which it looks like he's going to do. Just needs some good control weight here. And that's exactly where he wanted to leave it. Really good shot there by Aaron.
Yeah, that's when you watched him, he put his broom down there. That's a bang on. It's exactly what he was hoping for, and you saw the future there, Kyle. This is where Wiebe now comes in and says, "Well, we gotta get one."
He's got to find a way here. It's definitely super important that he finds a way here. Quick update from Sheet 5. Team Schneider scores 2 in the 6th. They've got a 4-4 tie against Team McEwen as they go into the 7th. And then on Sheet 3, they're down to their Skip Stones in a 4-4 tie. And it looks like Team Goggins is sitting Shot Rock on Sheet 3 in the middle of a 4-4 tie. So, again, like you said, some fantastic games. 2 tied, 1 game with at a 4-3 score. Competitive and awesome. Fans are having a great time. And it's great to see the energy up here inside the curling club up in the second level and down on the ice is awesome. And it's great to see so many people here supporting the kickoff draw to this event.
And we thank you if you are not here with us, but at home streaming the games. You can do that all event long. And lucky enough to have 2 featured games every draw on Sheet 4 and Sheet 5 here as we go. Final stone now. Sorry, first stone now for Wiebe.
One for the angle raise.
Oh,
what a shot. But
great.
just did not convert. But a heck of a try.
Well, you hear him say, geez, that close, right? Like, angle was there, opportunity was there, and he had 95% of that shot in the bag.
Heck of a try.
But here we go.
Obviously, Aaron wants to stuff one in here and make the house very, very small for an opportunity for Wiebe to score. Again, it looks like Aaron wants to put the pressure on without hammer and try and extend his lead going into the 8th and really force Wiebe's hand. So we'll see where Aaron leaves this.
Hope for him now is to sit right inside that yellow, Kyle. That's on the 4-foot, or is he hoping to squeak one in and just kind of nose his own at this point?
Well, what do you think he's hoping for? Obviously, is to nudge that yellow one back a little bit, so he's sitting 2, right? And again, he wants to make this next shot extremely difficult for Ryan Wiebe, where he's going to have to come down on the other side and tap down and to sit for his single. Big shot here. Austin Sluchinski, final shot here in the 6th for him. Looking to sit 2. Front end now digging in hard.
Gotta go to get past.
Dragging it.
And they do.
Great drag. Got to get a touch of the button.
And they will.
Oh,
I
what
don't
a
think
shot.
it's shot stone or second shot though, Kyle. I don't think that's. I mean, my eyes are not that good, anyways. But either way, Wiebe is looking at a pushback. He's gonna have to touch that rock on the button.
It looks like they're going to come off that red. They're talking about coming off the red hard and hammering it into the middle of these two and splashing those two out and trying to sit for 2.
The shot is there.
The shot's there.
A high difficulty shot in what you said, though, right? Sluchinski was just hoping to put the pressure on, which he did.
Again, high risk, high reward, right? Here's the opportunity for Ryan. He's got to find a way to get 2 here in the 7th. This is why he gets paid the big bucks.
And what we talked about earlier, saying I was never the guy to throw the skip rock, and you gotta put the team on your back and say, let's make this one.
If he makes this shot, this is a game changer right here. Huge shot, Ryan Wiebe, last rock here in the 7th end. The Astec Safety Classic as he lines this one up and steps away.
Creatures of routine.
Gonna get reset.
Wiebe now at the final stone. Looking for 2.
Big weight, here we go. The flat boys are on it.
Wants the curve.
Ty's calling it.
It just didn't get the
Didn't get the angle.
just getting the angle. So
Good
now-
effort, good try. But Team Sluchinski steals 2 here in the 7th.
Yeah, I don't know. They're not going to measure this one. Hey, it looks.
They might be calling for it.
You're calling.
I think it's red.
And see, I'm sitting
If you
here.
take yellow, we
Yeah,
got a 50-50 chance.
Well, that's why I can make a little toonie bet on this one, Kyle. But I feel like yellow second shot on this one, and I feel like Sluchinski's going to steal
That's
one.
what you're
but-
feeling?
Yeah. And they're calling it. I mean, it's that close. Why wouldn't you? With the stakes that are here at the Astec Safety Challenge and the money that's up for grabs,
Our first measurement of the spiel.
and it came in the first draw.
Absolutely. This is an important point. If this is a steal of 2
It's then 6-3.
going into the final end here, this is a really, really big measurement. Let's see where we go. Oh, we're dialed in. Look at the camera work by the guys over there.
Maz.
Holy moly.
Andrew. I was squinting. I thought like me and you are leaning into the screen to try
Yeah.
to get a piece of this. We have the technology to zoom in, Kyle.
Look at that. You don't get this at any Bonspiel.
What is look at this.
This kind of technology is only available at the Astec Safety Challenge.
Okay, Webster kind of gets out of the way here, so we see
It's red. It's red.
well, you win the toonie bet on this one, Kyle. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So
Lunch is
that-
going to be good.
If you get a couple of those, then you stack them up, and then you're off to the races. Not 100K, but a couple toonies for me, that'll work, eh?
Anytime you can take a toonie at the curling rink is a good day.
Okay, so now we talk about the implications of that. A steal of 2. And almost like you're looking at Team Wiebe right now, and you just see the wind out of the sails and go, okay, well, we've got an end left here. There's 8 rocks to throw, but that makes it really tough for these guys to come back.
Well, the placement, again, you need a good start to the end here. So you need some good placement. You need to stick to strategy. And you need some help,
Yeah.
right? And that can happen. We've all seen in games where there's lots of pressure. These guys may not show it on their face right now, but this game's not over. There's mistakes happen.
Right.
And again, it's all about opportunities. And right now, Team Sluchinski has an opportunity to close this one out and move on in the A event. And
So if you're Aaron, you're like right now for you, you're control. Let's keep it clean. Let's keep it open.
you want to keep her clean. Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
You want to keep it clean. You want to control the front of the house.
Let's not chase this thing here, right?
no-
Let's.
Ultimately, your goal is to run them out of rocks,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, once we get into our seconds shots, you're going to see a lot of stuff move and clean. And but again, lots can happen here with 15 rocks left to be thrown.
Right.
And lots of pressure, but lots of fun. This has been a great game. Been fun to watch, and call it up here. And it's fantastic to be here and experiencing this with these world-class guys.
You can tell too. It means so much. I mean, this is the first draw. This is the first game for both of these two teams, and if you feel what you feel right now in draw one, like it means so much. Right, there's so much on the line with every single game.
And you know what? I think you and I have done such a great job that we're going to get the call for the final. I think
Tap on the shoulder.
You know, why would you want Daryl Hanley and Scott Manners in
Why?
the final when you could have us?
The B team.
Right, exactly. Sometimes the B team wins. Right? There's opportunities. I may have to spike Scott's water later or something, but we'll see what happens.
Well, either way, as we come and I'll give my thanks to you too, because on the onset, I wasn't sure if I was going to have a partner in crime, but I really do appreciate, Kyle, you stepping in here and for all the volunteers, obviously, behind the mics, because it's just a bunch of local guys and gals who love the game, right?
It's all it is, and again, it's a bunch of volunteers coming
Yes.
together to create an experience. And for those of you at home, I'll apologize now. You know, they threw me into this, and I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have sitting here and watching. But again, we thank you so much for joining in on the stream.
Yeah.
And taking it in. And I promise you, it's going to be a fantastic week. And there's going to be way better play-by-play guys than me that are going to come on here. So you're going to have a great opportunity to enjoy the games and take it in, even if you're not able to make it. But again, I do want to take a moment to ensure that everybody out there knows that if you didn't get tickets to the event, tomorrow and Saturday at the Lloyd X, you will have an opportunity to be a part of it, as the streams are going to be on over there. It is a family-friendly patch, we're calling it.
Yep.
And an opportunity to meet some of these unbelievable curlers as they're going to be stopping by throughout the week and dropping in to see people for pictures and autographs and anything else, and maybe some questions you may want to ask. Maybe you want to talk to Brad Gushu about the comments he made when he was in Kelowna.
Fair point.
Caused a little bit of stir in the curling world.
Fair point.
You know, maybe you want to talk about the new CEO of Curling Canada. You know, I had the opportunity a couple weeks ago to meet Dave Murdoch, who's the new high performance coach for Curling Canada. Just moved to Canada, obviously played a lot of curling in Scotland, but has moved to Canada to take on the high performance team. And all these guys are a part of that, trying to make it to the Olympics. So lots happening in Curling Canada right now, and all of these guys are here and open to conversations. And if you have the opportunity to get over to Lloyd X to watch the games Friday and Saturday, please do. And like I said, you never know who's going to show up. And a huge thank you to Synergy Credit Union for sponsoring that.
We'll snap back to the game here, but obviously, while I quickly have the thought, Lloyd X, if you're not familiar with that establishment, just a massive community pillar here in Lloyd and area, and for helping put on the food and beverage, because that's a huge piece
Absolutely.
of any curling event. We're all humans. We like to eat, and good food is what the X does, and so we thank our friends over there too.
Yeah, absolutely. Jim Armstrong and the team are here, and they're doing a great job, and lunch and dinner buffets. So thank you very much to Lloyd X and Jackie Tomeyer for helping us out. Back to the action here. Sean Flatt. This team Weeb's looking for a way to find 3 to take this to an extra end.
Find 3, but 3 reds right now in the house, wide open, obviously, but there's only so many rocks you have, Kyle, in hand to make that 3 happen for yourself.
Absolutely. You know, obviously, Team Weeb's hoping for a mistake here, as these guys are going to try and peel this one out of the rocks. Obviously, at the end of the day, for Sluchinski, they're looking to keep it clean. They want to keep as many yellow rocks out of the ring as they can. Try and run Team Wiebe out of rocks here and force a handshake. But again, super important shots, right? Keir Drummond getting ready to fire here, the second for Team Sluchinski. One mistake can cause you a big problem.
Sluchinski curling out of the Airdrie Curling Club here in Alberta, world number 16, Canadian number 6. Looking to ice this one and get their first win of the Astec Safety Challenge. Wiebe says, we're not done yet. This game is not done yet. So what's the team deliberating here, Kyle? If you're down on the ice, you're in these guys' heads right now going, do we put something up front? Do we jam up the front? Do we keep it clean? I mean, we're sitting 3 right now, but we see that one stone can eliminate all of that, and now you have some potential with control for Team Wiebe with a bunch of yellow rocks on the left side of the screen.
Yeah, again, they're thinking 2 or 3 shots down the road
Right,
here, and
right.
what makes sense, right? At the end of the day, and what causes the least damage down the road,
Sure.
right? So again, they're going to take a run here. I believe they're going to try and knock 2 rocks out with this. Going to take those guards out of play and try and keep things as clean as they possibly can.
For me, that's what I was deliberating, is that like you have a potential here to clean, right? And you don't want to put yourself in a situation where there's a bunch of junk in the front.
Good shot, cleaned up to 1. Final rock here, Team Goskins on sheet number 3. Huge shot as the skip threw his hand in the air. In a 4-4 tie, it looks as though Team Goskins is going to take 2 to be leading 6-4 going into the 8th end as they come home against Team Shumei. Team Shumei will have the hammer going into the 8th end, down 6-4 on sheet 3.
And then in our other game, McEwen and Schneider, also a tight game, 4-4 there.
Yeah, as they're getting down as Catlin Schneider with his first rock into the 7th end, as he is without the hammer in the 7th in a 4-4 tie. But back to our game, Team Wiebe.
Looking to get some movement on some granite up front. Now's the time.
Don't tell him. Don't even tell him until he goes to put it on tomorrow. Or this afternoon or something.
Sean Flatt with his last rock of the game.
How hard is it?
Unless we go to extras.
Yeah, I was going to say. So he's looking to stick around here with his shot, Kyle.
Please, little bit. Yep. Hard. Go.
Looks inside.
Any audibles off that?
Yeah, it's definitely not. Roll it. Good shot. Really good shot there by Sean Flatt. When you're a second, you don't get a lot of draws, right? Typically they're throwing some bigger weight. They don't get a ton of draws. A really good shot there to get that one to sit right on the button, as these guys are looking to find a way to get this to an extra end.
Complete team game too. You hear Ty up front saying, do we got an audible? What are we looking at here? What's the other angles? There's a ton of potential here. This rock's not done moving yet. Let's see where we can finish this thing off on. And control of the button, pretty good spot to be.
So Team Sluchinski looking like they're going to try and take out that one in the 12 and slide in on top.
No, definitely.
Big shot here.
Process of eliminating rocks for this team at this point, Kyle?
That's what it's all about right now. Needed to curl.
Got the chip.
That's the shot. Shot rock is Team Wiebe right on the button, but Team Sluchinski's got 4 in the rings here.
Need a couple more yellows to force an extra. That's for sure.
Remove all these 4 rocks.
Yeah, it's not. There's a triplet here.
That's what
They've
Ty
got-
is saying, right? He's saying, hey, like, if we're going to get what we need to get here, we got to start moving some red granite around.
Then it's just bang, right?
They got to find a way to open up the top of the 4-foot here.
Like, do that.
Does it help that you have some backing, the back of the 4 behind their shot rock? Like, does that help these guys any in terms of keeping some stones around? Because obviously you don't have quick and easy dirty takeout to keep her clean and keep to blank the end for Sluchinski. So
yeah, the backing is definitely a bigger issue for for Sluchinski
Yeah, right.
than it is for Team Wiebe. Obviously, anything they have to help to keep their rocks closer to the middle, the better. But it just depends on how these guys want to attack this.
Let's listen in as these guys deliberate.
Yeah. You seen anything, Sean? That you like?
If I'm heavy, I can wick off the red.
Like you're thinking like it doesn't really do much. Like read that.
I like going all the way around everything. At that point, just moving down to a street.
Ty saying he likes to go wide.
I'm just seeing this like all day. It just yeah. Well, we gotta make a call. Like, what do we? You see anything that you want to like that you like?
I like going around everything.
Okay, let's make it. You can always pick off the tree.
So what is he saying there, Kyle? He's coming around the top.
Sounds like what Ty wants to do is come in and with a draw here, and he wants to come in right into the 4-foot.
And they're also saying there's a potential in that if it goes south, you got the wick off the red.
Mm-hmm. So big shot here for Ty as he's looking to set his team up to try and make 3 here in the 8th end, final end here at the Astec Safety Challenge. Here we go. First shot for Ty Delio of Team Wiebe here in the 8th.
Down 3.
Let him move a bit. Sean's rock.
So they got room.
Need it to curl. Really need this to move here. There it goes.
They wanted to come around everything and get a little backing.
Is that in the way?
Not bad.
Interesting. What are you looking at here when you see how this breaks down? Sluchinski's going, okay, well, we got that rock in the back, but we still got 4 beating that one. We just got to try to eliminate some stones here and walk away with this thing.
That's all he needs to do. Yeah. I think he's got lots of different options, right? He's got opportunities to take yellow out in many different ways. Probably off his red one just outside the 4-foot, sitting in the 8-foot there, and take out the yellow behind it.
I mean,
or you come down and smash the front.
Well, I'm sitting here too thinking he's not worried about collateral on his rocks either.
No.
Right? Like we got some angles here. If we got to sacrifice a couple of the ones in the house,
he just needs yellow to move. Right? He just needs yellow rocks to move. Update on sheet 5 as Schneider and McEwen just finished the 7th end, and Team Schneider with the steal in the 7th end. 5-4 Team Schneider against Team McEwen going into the 8th and final end. Mike McEwen was formerly playing out of Manitoba and Ontario, is now moved into the Saskatchewan ranks. Has got a team with Colton Flash, super solid team in Saskatchewan, playing out of Regina. And again, Team Schneider up 5-4 without the hammer in the 8th end against Team McEwen.
You talk about this too. Like a lot of these players, they're skipping and they're leading their own teams, and now you got super teams. You've just got so much talent in Canada.
Unbelievable now,
right? For these teams to pull from, and it all depends on where you want to call home and where you want to hang your hat and what flag you want maybe on your back potentially if you make your way to the Briar. So,
and last night we had the opportunity to look at some future talent.
That's right.
Right, some future Lloydminster talent is some young teams and young players were out on the ice with these world-class athletes, and it was a tremendous evening last night as we saw them out on the ice. But here we go.
Big weight here.
Jeremy Hardy.
Looking to move the yellow. And they won't get what they wanted, I think, on that one, Kyle, which leaves the potential opening for Wiebe to maybe come in here.
Well, he has no choice.
That's what I was thinking.
They got to score 3, so they need to bring rocks into the house here.
Is it ever this?
Let's take a listen in to see what they're saying.
Evaluating. Okay. He's throwing a 3. Yeah, guard the 4.
They're asking for a guard here on this one. That doesn't make sense to me, Kyle. Or what are they going on here?
Well, they want to guard their yellow on the pin, right? So they want to make sure again that they have angles where they can do a raise,
Sure.
where they can have the opportunity to get their threes. So again, you don't, you want to make that all about opportunities from that final shot for Ryan Wiebe, right? So
I can't begin to say that I'm as smart as anybody in here, so that's why I like your insight to go. If I'm Team Wiebe, you almost want to get some stones in the mix, but that's why it's a chess game, right?
Early.
it's a game of patience, right? And not making the move too early. So
Right off.
guys are right off it as they feel they're heavy here.
He does not want this in the rings, Kyle. Is that the case, or he's fine with that?
He's fine with it. They've got the guard up there.
And
They've got
that's-
something set up for an angle raise down the road.
Nice touch there from Kyle.
And they're covered,
Yep.
right? They're covered, and away we go.
Now Sluchinski says, I'm just going to come right down there and freeze on the face of that one on the button.
He wants to make the scoring area extremely small, and that's what he's going to do. If he sits right on top of it frozen, I don't know if Ryan Wiebe can get it out.
And that's where I was thinking in my small pigeon brain up top in the broadcast booth. Why wouldn't Wiebe have put a rock into the house there and froze to the nose of his own?
Yeah, he could have. I think what I would have rather have seen it, right on top of the 4 foot.
Yeah.
And not, hopefully you don't create a double in that regard, right? And I know that's what you're trying to get against, where Sluchinski comes down with huge weight and takes everything out. So, interesting strategy here. We'll see what happens as Austin Sluchinski gets ready to throw his first rock here in the final eighth end. Up 6-3, trying to close this one out and be the first game done in the draw and the first one off the ice. And as we all love in the world of curling, maybe a quick beverage. But these guys probably not. World-class athletes.
They're going to recap what happened and get ready for the next one. Looking for a peel on this one, Kyle.
Great.
And
Good
that's
shot.
a pretty routine shot from Sluchinski.
Controlling the house.
Now what? Wiebe says, okay, the chess game is about to wrap up.
Yeah.
We
Well-
need to sit 3.
He needs to find a way to make 3 here. And I think what you're going to see is he's got to go for the double here, and he needs it to sit. He needs to knock those 2 reds out of there.
And the double, it almost has to be now, right? Like you don't make the double, at least to stick around and have some backing. He's only got so many rocks. Good board weight.
Yeah.
As we wrap up the first draw,
Roll this a little
the Astec Safety Challenge, inaugural, Lloydminster, Canada's only border city,
board. Yeah, firm board.
Yeah, if I can roll this over on yes, please.
and Ryan Wiebe with his first on the 8th.
So I heard Ryan saying he wants this to roll to the 12 foot after he hits. Obviously trying to set up a way to get in and take those 2 red ones and the low of the bottom 4 out
Yep.
with his last rock.
Go to ice level now.
Easy. Go.
Well, that's what they talked about.
It hangs around, he's going to get it.
He wanted it to be in the 12 foot, so he has an angle to go after those ones behind.
I mean, we don't want to. Yeah. Well, this is, the only thing we don't want to do is roll right there, because then he has this.
So Sluchinski's thinking, okay, we'll eliminate that one, we roll in.
What?
Wiebe's thinking, okay, he makes that shot. Is there a potential for Wiebe to take out those 2 red, the back 8 foot there?
I
All.
think there's a potential for Sluchinski to come down right on the one on the button and take out the other yellow in the 12 foot, and then Wiebe's
Game
out of
over.
rocks.
Game over. Right,
But,
so these guys are talking about the 12-foot rock when you, Kyle, are looking at it going, how do we take out 2 rocks here? If we do that, game over.
So here we go. They're going to go after that one in the 12-foot and try and slide across and push that yellow one off the button. We're going to see some high heat here.
Yeah, Sluchinski's going to be
Aaron
slinging her.
Sluchinski is going to throw some high heat.
Ideally, is he hoping for a shooter to stick around on this one, Kyle?
Absolutely. Absolutely is, yeah. And if it doesn't, who cares?
Right, right.
You know, obviously he'd like to sit right on the button, but
When they played this end the way that they wanted to. I mean, obviously it's not as clean as they wanted to, but they're still in control, and the momentum is in their favor. I mean, Team Wiebe needs to make 3 here, and with 1 rock to go from.
now they're taking
Right.
a look at if they can bump that yellow off the button back on the one on the top of the 12-foot.
Which is what you called, right? Let's see if we can make that rock move a little bit.
Make that go away now.
Double on their back. Like we have tons of options.
They make that shot, game's over. So, no, they're going to stick to the one
Okay.
out in the 12-foot. Clearly they don't see the angles, so.
Clearly.
Again, folks, not that smart.
I love that. We're playing up top.
We're playing someone else's game. I'm no Vic Router, everybody, but here we go. Final shot.
Gonna get
Needs
the
to
movement.
roll.
That's not a bad shot either.
Defensive shot, great shot, but takes away the triple.
To the one, like
Did they do it? Is it there?
it's
So we got
Well, we'll see.
with big weight. We got Scott beside us saying there's some possibility here that
They gotta come-
They could do it.
Well, they come across it, hit it, and then spin that other one up top. The chance is there. The chance is there to get the 3 and get themselves into an extra end.
Right. So you're driving the one on the button back, and then
No. He's coming down on that red,
he's coming down.
and
on the
he's got to
red.
slide across with heavy weight and blast it across
Okay.
to split them all up and splash it and hold his shooter.
Yeah.
And the one at the bottom. So this is going to be a chance to get his 3 right here, right now.
And the shot is there.
The shot is there. Ryan Wiebe
Final shot of the 8th.
to push this to an extra end.
Needs 3.
Here we go.
Big weight calling for curl.
Guys are on it. Oh,
Wow. Great.
what a try.
Great try.
What a try.
And we'll have handshakes.
But at the end of the day, it is a 6-4 win.
Team
for
Sluchinski.
Team Sluchinski as they win the opening game here at the Astec Safety Challenge.
And for us on sheet 4, that'll mean we're off too. Kyle, I just want to say thank you for your time and your knowledge and your ability to jump in here last minute and help me with this first broadcast. And to everybody watching on the stream, we appreciate you, and all the sponsors, of course, for making something like this happen. Couldn't do it without you.
Thank you
Thoughts?
Thank you very much, everybody. It was an awesome game, and it's going to be a great week. So please continue to tune in on the live broadcasts, and I promise there's going to be some great people. There's going to be some former Scotties representatives that are going to be on the broadcast.
Yeah.
You're going to see later today, as Lindsay Makachuk, I believe, is going to be on the microphone with a few games. You know, obviously Scott and Ryan Dice are going to be on at some point as well. Daryl Hanley, who won the Wayside Curling Championship a few years ago. But again, lots of local people. It's a great event. And thank you very much to everybody listening today as we wrap this broadcast up here at the Astec Safety Challenge.
And if you missed it, final wrap, it's Team Sluchinski with a 6-4 win over Ryan Wiebe. They move on. First win for them. Thank you. We will be back. The Astec Safety Curling Challenge.
Like people, businesses have their journey, their path, sometimes straight, but more often evolving, growing, and adapting to a changing world, creating the need for knowledge in areas like accounting, consulting, tax, technology, areas critical to your continued growth and success. All part of the journey, all part of what we do together with you. Because your success is the destination. MNP, wherever business takes you.
Hi there. I'm Joseph Rosenberg, the Contact Center Manager for Utility Safety Partners, and we're very proud to be a sponsor of the Astec Safety Challenge. Now, when you're competing in a bond spiel, you gotta dig deep and uncover what's buried and plan each shot. And in life, when you've gotta dig deep and uncover what's buried, well, you have to plan, and that plan needs to involve utility safety partners. When bumping that object in front of you is not an option.
The official soundtrack to Canada's only border city. 1061, The Goat. Stay connected with MyLloydminsterNow.com.
Put death by rock and roll.
A Lloydminster legend.
I lived in all day.
Everything that rocks.
Time to rock.
1061, The Goat.